Combo breaker.
There we go. Okay, so we did that just in case the intro doesn't get put on this episode, but it should be, because we downloaded the program, blah blah blah. So anyways, episode 30.
You caught me off guard, man. I didn't know you were gonna do that.
Yeah, no, I was gonna do it either. Episode 30. Welcome back to Convo Breaker. I am Mario Valdez.
And I'm Luis Marquez. And we're here. We're together again. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, guys. I had to brush up on my folkloric dancing, as Mario puts it.
That's right.
Actually, I went to this part of Mexico called Zacatecas, and I was trying to find, everywhere I go, I try to find a gamer, geek community so that I could see, what they're all about, what they do, try to see how their community is, how they get treated and everything. But surprisingly enough, I couldn't find anything. What I did find was that restaurant that I sent pictures and I posted pictures. I was trying to post the videos, but my phone was acting really weird, so I really couldn't, but it was really, really cool.
Yeah, I saw the pictures you posted on Facebook, and I know some of these guys did too. They were pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like you go, like you're walking down the mall, and it's like I swear, like you wouldn't believe. Hey, there's a mall in Mexico is way better than the ones we have. But dude, man.
Yeah, it looked insane.
Yeah, so you walk in and they have a big, what is it, like a stand full of just like statues of characters like Wolverine, and then they have another one with a big Hulk and a big Iron Man, a big,
Dude, next time you go, I'm going with you.
You're going with me, hell, It's amazing, like, and then they even have a bar, like, there's Master Chief on the bar, and, they're always playing a superhero movie, and they even have their own superhero, That was pretty cool. I like it. Actually, it's a chain of restaurants in Mexico, actually. There's 36 of them.
Damn.
There's one per state, actually.
So, if you guys didn't see it, the pictures are still up on Facebook, because he posted a whole bunch of
they're
pictures
amazing.
on Facebook.
I've never seen something like this here in the U.S.
Yeah, actually, the only thing that I've seen, I was supposed to visit it this year, and I didn't. I don't know if you guys heard of it. It's called the Scum and Villainy Cantina, and basically what it is it's a bar/restaurant in L.A. It just opened. And you need reservations during the day, but not at night. And basically, it's a Star Wars. It's licensed too. It's a Star Wars themed bar, and you go in, cosplay Star Wars or whatever, and it's based off the cantina from the first Star Wars movie, and everything's set up the exact same way, and even the menu is all Star Wars stuff. And I've seen pictures, people going in there with their cosplays, and I was supposed to go. I was in the area earlier this year, but I didn't get a chance to stop there. But it's kind of like that. And that's like the only thing that I know of that we have here in the States.
I asked if, I spoke to the manager and I asked if, everything was licensed. And while they do have, all rights reserved, since they're not promotioning anything, like their name is comics where heroes dine. Yeah. They're not saying, oh, this is DC, this is Marvel, this is anything. Yeah. They just have big ass statues. Like a restaurant can have statues of characters, but they're not promoting it.
Oh, kind of like downtown at the Wax Museum. They have like that big hole. Well, they had it. I don't know if they still have it.
Yeah, so they don't need license for that. I mean,
gotcha.
And they don't name their dishes have superhero names, but their own superheroes.
They're not based.
They're not based off of their properties. So I mean, it's still cool. I liked it, and I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, that makes sense. Kind of like a comic book store.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
makes sense.
I'm looking forward to going again.
Yeah, dude. So like he went. I know he went last year. He did it this year. So next time I should be able to go with you.
Yeah, you'll be rich over there.
So this episode, I've been waiting for this episode since I had the idea for it, and I know you have too. It's gonna be on the top 10 video games of all time on our list. So we'll go back and forth going one each. But before we do that, we'll talk about the news. All right,
talk about your movie news because I have some.
I have a whole bunch of
Let's go.
Shit to talk about. Okay, so the first thing, there's two things I want to talk about first. One is a correction from last episode, and another one is, okay, do you remember a lot of people, probably, well, not a lot of people, but people who've been listening to the episode frequently should remember that when we first started doing the episodes, we used to call this section the Geek Out section. And we used to say, like, oh, it's time to geek out. That's what we would call the news part. So, I don't know if you knew this, and this kind of pissed me off, but I found out that, I don't think it started yet, but I don't know if you know this, but Kevin Smith has a podcast, a geek podcast, and I forgot what it's called. It's like Fat Man on Batman or something. And he even has he even has a YouTube channel on it, but I think it's also a podcast. So he's had it for a while though. But what I found out was that Kevin Smith is supposed to be coming out with a podcast / show on AMC, and it's supposed to be called Geeking Out. Oh, and I was like, you son of a bitch, dude.
Alright, so we can sue.
First, I didn't like Kevin Smith, and I thought he was cool when I read his Daredevil stuff, and then now this happened, but that sucks. So
Mark's going to be planning a lawsuit against Ed.
I hate you, Kevin Smith, but if you ever want to be on the show, you can be on the show. So that's a little thing. And then, so here's one more thing before we get into the rule news. There was a correction. So last episode, I don't know if you heard it, I had heard that Infinity War was starting production, and I was like, well, how is that possible? I had a whole conversation with myself, with you guys, saying that doesn't make sense to me because they had the reveal trailer, blah blah blah. This is what threw me off, because the way the wording was on that fucking link that I saw, and I forget this because Civil War threw me off, and I consider Civil War an Avengers movie, even though it's a Captain America movie. So Infinity War finished, right? Yeah. Which is Avengers 3.
Yeah.
Avengers 4 just started filming.
I see.
So that's what threw me off, because Avengers 4 doesn't have a title yet. Because it was supposed to be Infinity War Part 1 and 2, but it's not.
Oh, shit.
So Infinity War is 3, and then 4 is going to be called something else, but we don't know the title yet. So Infinity War just finished, but it just started shooting. So that means we should be getting a trailer maybe for 4, which doesn't, I don't know, it seemed kind of weird to me because it overlap. Because you'd have Infinity War coming out May next year, and then during the summer you're going to have San Diego Comic-Con again, and that would give these guys enough footage from Avengers 4 to come out with a trailer. But I think it'd be like, it's kind of weird, like how do you release a trailer next year after Infinity War? Because I mean, it'd be spoilers like automatically that year, because not everyone's going to see the movie unless they wait until the home release. Because if you wait till the home release, then that means it'll get released sometime in, it comes out May, July, August. I want to say September, October. So that means we won't get a trailer for Avengers 4 next year, like November or something. But well, then again, I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? Because we still don't have an Infinity War trailer. No, I heard that the first trailer was supposed to come out in November. But these D23 and Comic-Con.
So I mean, yeah.
Jerks got it.
Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, technically, we don't even have a.
We don't have a trailer. Yeah, so I guess it makes sense.
I just wanted. So if anybody got offended by Mario's word, I know he could be pretty mean and harsh. So you see his apology and his correction.
Nah. Screw all you guys who were at D23 and San Diego Comic-Con, man. Like, screw that shit, man. Like, but yeah. So that's all I wanted to fix. I just wanted to fix that. So Avengers 4 started filming. So that's the beginning. Like, this is already the end. Like, these guys, like, we don't know. Like, some of these guys ain't coming back no more after Avengers 4. So we'll go through the news, and then we'll start going through our top 10 video game list. So,
all right.
I don't know if you want to go and throw some news at me.
So you first? You don't have any movie news?
Me first?
Yeah,
movie
news. Let's do the movies first, and then we'll go to what I have in video games. Like,
because I got video games too.
All right. So let's see. What do you have on video games?
I was gonna talk about Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Okay, go ahead. Let's do that.
Okay, so Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Everybody knows I've been like on that shit. Like I've been on Moon, I've been on Sun, and I was kind of talking to you about Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I was like, why am I gonna be excited for it? Like, it's just gonna introduce a few new Pokemon. I found out that they're introducing 2 new variants to Lycanroc. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, which is, to me, it's whatever. Like the shiny versions and that they have now look better than the alternate versions for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. But what I found out about this game is that it's gonna pull a Black and White 2 on us. It's gonna continue the story.
Yeah, it's like a.
It's not gonna. Part. Yeah, it's not gonna be an alternate. It's not gonna be what is it called? It's not gonna be like an extra.
Like a rehash.
Yeah, it's not gonna be a rehash.
Like an Emerald version.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Ruby and
or
Sapphire.
like basically what all the games have done. It's not gonna be that. It's gonna be what Black and White 2 did to Black and White. So basically, what it is it's gonna be an alternate story, and it's for the most part it's gonna be the same map, but they're gonna add new locations and they're gonna add new buildings and new Pokemon in it. But what's crazy is that. You saw the pictures of Lunala and Solgaleo, how they're kind of infused with Necrozuma, I forgot what his name is, but they kind of have like a darker version to them, And so basically, I was saying now it's an alternate version of the story, like a side story, and it has to do with portals. If you haven't played the game, if you haven't played the game by now, then whatever, you don't care. But if you know if you're excited about Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, then you've played the game or you're playing it now. But what's crazy because it reminded me of Stranger Things, because Stranger Things in the first season they find the portal and then 11 goes through it and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
This is what happens in the story in Sun and Moon. They have the portal, they go to get Lily's mom, whatever, and blah blah blah, and then they have the images for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon with these altered forms of Solgaleo and Lunala, and they're like a darker version. I was like, oh shit! I was like, the Upside Down leaked into because that's what it seems like. It seems like Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon is like the season 2 of Stranger Things, because that's what it is. Like, it's continuing it, but it's like an alternate reality to where, like, I guess something from the portal went through, and I was like, dude, now I'm excited to play this game, knowing that it's not a rehash.
Yeah.
Because I was like, dude, I'm just gonna go through the decks again, basically just Pokebank all my Pokemon through and fill it up again, right? But it's gonna be another part of the story, so it's just cool that they're expanding the story on this gen. And I'm like really fucking excited now for this game. And it comes out in November. We pre-ordered the first one. I'm gonna pre-order this one too. So
nice.
Dude, I can't wait for this game. Like, now I'm like super fucking stoked. And then sticking to Pokemon still, I registered for the next tournament. You haven't. It's probably capped out. But if you guys register, let me know. Maybe I'll battle you guys, because it's 15 battles a day that you can do to earn points. Yeah, I already registered my team. My team's not exactly what I wanted, but I got
excuses.
Nah, man, it's because a lot of my Pokemon are still stuck on X, but I managed to get a Dedenne in there. And for those of you following me on Instagram at MV7.0, I don't know if you saw, I got a shiny Dedenne.
Yeah,
I hatched one.
Yeah.
So that's like my favorite Pokemon right now, Dedenne. And
I don't know what's so cool about Dedenne.
Well, he's been actually. Well, I think the anime made me a fan of Dedenne. Because Bonnie had the Dedenne, and then when I started because I never like to use the cute Pokemons in the game. I'm like, I don't want to use these, like, useless, right? Oh, yeah. So then when I started, using the Dedenne, and I found out about his cheek pouch ability and all that shit, I was like, dude, he can. If you have a decent Dedenne, like, he could fucking, like, do some damage, and he could last, and, like, I've been reading
that the Alolan form of Raichu has been wrecking people online.
Oh, really?
That's what I've heard.
Oh, shit. I haven't fucking, yeah. I don't even mess with the Alolan Raichu. Yeah. Some of them I do. Like, I'm trying to work on a Grimer right now, because, dude, those dudes can be tanks, dude, like, rowdy, but, and then a couple of more pieces of Pokemon news, and I'll throw it back to you. Pokemon Go news, real quick.
All right.
Right now, Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, and Lugia are out until August 31st. And on top of that, Shiny Pikachu's out there. So there's a Shiny Pikachu out there right now.
And it's waiting for you.
I don't know how long it's going to be out, but it's out. So if you guys are playing Pokemon, I just wanted to say that about Pokemon Go. Those are out there. I was trying to do a raid today, but my phone was acting weird. But we need to go out there and do a raid sometime.
Yeah.
I have raid passes and I haven't used them. But go on.
All right. So we're gonna talk about. Are you done with it so that we can just focus straightly on games, or do you have any?
Yeah. Let's do games and then we'll go into movies and other stuff.
All right. Afterwards. Okay. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do games that we got this week.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So have you heard about that game, Agents of Mayhem?
Mm-mm.
Well, have you heard about Saints Row?
Yes, Saints Row.
Yeah. So it's supposed to be something like that. So we got that this week. We also have the Mega Man Legacy Collection 2, the Volume 2. It's only for
I talked about it last.
Yeah, it's only for PlayStation and PlayStation 4 and.
But it's
Xbox
physical
One.
copy though. Too,
it's physical copy, yeah. So this is what happened. So you know how the Mega Man series has the 1 through 6, I believe.
Yeah.
So and that was that. So they did that collection. Then back when back then they did 7, 8, 9, and then they did. I think they did 9 and 10 as like WiiWare versions of the game or downloadable releases. Well, so those last 4 games are the ones that are in the collection.
Huh, that's weird.
So it's only 4 games.
Do you know if there was anything that came out special for pre-order? Because I was pissed when I found out it was.
No, there's no. There wasn't anything.
Dude, because I was like, we got the gold amiibo for the first collection. Then when I found out about it, I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me.
They're probably gonna come out with the Switch version because who doesn't want to be on the Switch? The Switch is amazing. It's an amazing console.
I still want to get.
Yeah,
well, you have one.
I have.
I just need to buy it.
Yeah. So we also got Sonic Mania, and we also had that collector's edition, which is, I thought it was gonna be like a small box like this.
It's it's like.
But it's a big box.
It's right next to me, guys. This is like a fucking.
Yeah, it's a bit, and it's heavy
box.
too. So at first, you have to pre-order them, and then there was only a select few, and like I said, I thought it was a small box. So I was like, if I don't get it, it's all right. I'll just download the copy. I downloaded actually the copy on my Switch, but man, like when I got the box with that collector's edition, it's a huge box.
Yeah, it is.
And there's actually not a physical game inside. It's only but if you look at the box, it tells you like the statue, and then there's also like a little cartridge that has I guess it's a gold-plated ring. But I mean, it's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
You know, I liked it.
Looks cool.
And then, have you ever heard of Undertale?
Mm-mm.
It's that game that has that. I mean, I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody, but it's a game that has this. It's kind of like it's like Mother. Looks like Mother. Basically, it's like an old school kind of game, RPG game, and it has like a really bizarre ending. Well, they just released it for PS4, so you have that, and then you have Nidhogg, which is it's like a sword battle kind of thing. So there's basically what it is you have a big platform, and you have two characters. So you have to take your character all the way to the other side of the screen, but the other player's trying to kill you so he can go to the other side. So like you kill him, and then he'll spawn at the very spot at the end of the other spot, and then if he kills you, he can continue running the other way. It's loads of fun. Although I mean I'm gonna admit it can get a little bit repetitive. So we got that, and we got StarCraft for PC. I'm not too much of a PC person, but I mean I figured like there's somebody out there that plays on PC that might wanna see what we get. What else? All right, what do you have, Mario?
Video games. Well, this is one thing that I found out sticking to video games. I'm a big Final Fantasy fan. You know this,
yes.
And I want to hunt down some of the old Nintendo Final Fantasy games, or like even if I could just find like, I just want to play them because I know some of them are on DS now too, and some of them are gonna be redone like Final Fantasy VII and all that stuff. So I found out I played Dissidia for PSP, and I found out that they're coming out with Dissidia Final Fantasy NT for PS4, and it's coming out January 30th, 2018. So I'm looking forward to that because I had no idea. So also too, like I try to pre-order all the Final Fantasy games now that come out. So I'm gonna try to pre-order this one. It just sucks that I didn't get to play 15. Still, my brothers got to play 15, and I know you can still find the special edition one out there and shit. But so I'm gonna try to get that one, get all the DLC for that one, catch up on that, and then get Dissidia, because Dissidia, the first game was awesome. And if you don't know, basically what it is like there's this one threat that happens, and you get characters from all the different games, and they come together. Basically, it's like a fighting game too, and then like you get to level up, and it's really really fun.
Isn't like I think that game, but Part 5 came out for the Switch.
Part 5.
Right.
What is it called? What was it called?
I wait. I have it right.
Because this one, if I'm correct, I think this is like the third one, maybe.
Well, what the heck? Somewhere around here.
What is it called?
It's not this one.
Let me see. Let me see. This is Disgaea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Disgaea 5.
My bad.
So Dissidia, yeah. So I'm like looking forward to this.
And it's
like,
only a PlayStation 4 exclusive.
PlayStation 4. From what I saw, it's only PlayStation 4, and it comes out in January. So I got time to pre-order that. That's gonna be pretty sick. And then I think I have one more piece of video game news, and then I can just pass it back to you. Marvel's Capcom Infinite a couple of days ago came out with a new story trailer, and me and you
we saw it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You get to see Ghost Rider now in it, because I didn't know Ghost Rider was in it. He's back. You got to see more of the Avengers. You see Avengers headquarters now, because actually. Well, I'll talk about this later, but the headquarters reminded me of another game. They like pretty much did it exactly the way it was. see more of the Guardians of the Galaxy. You see Spider-Man in a black suit.
You get to see a big Venom creature.
Yeah, and then there's this other dude that's... I'm assuming he's a Darkstalkers villain. That's what he looks like. But he's purple. I don't know who the hell he was. He was like the only character I didn't recognize in the whole trailer.
But we saw Morgan, too.
Morgan, yeah. The trailer looks freaking sick. And then, like, you see them more talking about... Because they're bringing Thanos in to help them. And there were, like, Rocket's all like, oh, no, we shouldn't bring Thanos in. And that brings a split in the team. And one thing that I saw was people were saying, like, oh, this is actually supposed to be... a Civil War 3, but in the game. I'm like, oh, another Civil War? Because honestly, Civil War to me in video games is kind of shitty. And I'll talk about more about that later when we get into the video game list. Only because they did the Civil War thing in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, and that sucked. A lot of people thought that sucked. But anyways, this is supposed to be.
Well, I mean,
it's supposed to be Civil War 3.
What I don't think I'm liking about that is that you're supposed to be joining forces against a major threat, which is Ultron Sigma.
And now you're splitting the team.
And now you're splitting the team. Although I'm still impressed that Tony Stark voice actor really nails the part of.
If you guys have not seen any of the trailers from Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, whoever they got to do the I'm surprised I haven't looked it up. He sounds just like Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, it's like RDJ is playing the part. It wouldn't surprise me that the end credits like, jokes on you guys. It was RDJ the whole time.
It sounds like him. While you talk about your next piece, I'm gonna look up that voice actor's name, see what else he's done.
All right, so right now, Mario, this is the thing. There's a lot of games coming out today.
Today?
Not today. Oh. This month, and one of them is actually one that I've been looking forward to. It's called. You know who the Rabbids are?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Rabbids were kind of like the Minions back in the day. They started out in Rayman. Rayman is the guy that has floating hands, floating feet. And basically they got really popular. They were, like I said, they were the Minions. Did you find out who the actor was?
Well, it's funny because people have been searching it. Let's see.
Yeah.
Eric Loomis. They said they got him back. I don't know what they mean by back. If he wasn't, because it doesn't sound like the guy who did it in 3.
I don't know, but he does it like a pro.
Oh shit! They have the whole cast here.
Let's see.
The whole voice acting cast.
Well, just tell me Iron Man so I can.
Well, his name is Eric Loomis, but I don't know what else he's done. Characters and voice actors. Okay, so you were talking about the Rabbids?
Yeah, but I need your full attention.
Okay. Mega Man. Where's Iron Man?
Yeah, so before I got rudely interrupted by Mario.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Rabbids.
Yeah, Rabbit.
No,
Rabbit.
I'm listening. Trust me, I'm listening.
Yeah, you are. So yeah, that's my piece on Rabbids.
That's it?
No,
it has to do with that Mario.
Yeah,
thing that I saw. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the Rabbids were kind of like.
All right, we'll figure all this out later. But anyways.
Yeah, the Rabbids were kind of like, that's so rude, man.
Really? Yeah. You're the one that likes voice actors. I was doing you a favor.
I know.
For those of you who don't know, he's a big voice actor.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rabbids and Mario.
So the Rabbids were kind of like Minions. They even had their own TV show.
Mm-hmm.
They.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, they branched out into their own games, and they were just like Minions because they're not good. They're not good guys. They're actually evil. They're bad. They're bad Rabbids. They're like Rabbids, which are cute, and then they're all evil.
Yeah, that's why they're called Rabbids with a D.
Rabbids, because they have rabies and stuff like that. So now they're crossing over with Mario. So now we have something called Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom, Battle Kingdom. And, dude, supposedly what I've heard, or what I've seen from the gameplay, it borrows a lot of element from, like, XCOM. And for those collectors out there like myself, there's a special edition coming out with a rabbit dressed up as Mario.
What?
And he looks really, really sick. But there's also more. There's also 4 more statues coming out separately, and it's gonna be a Peach one, a Luigi one. Well, actually 3 more. It's a Luigi one, a Peach one, and a Yoshi one. And those are gonna be separate. They're gonna be $39.99 each.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
But if you're buying off fucking 4, you're looking at about $200.
I'm buying all 4 of them.
Yeah, I know you are, but I mean that's not bad though. $200 for all that.
Yeah, I mean it's not a bad deal. I mean, I wish they would. They have a bundle where you have where you buy the game and then you have the whole 4 figures.
Oh, that's not bad.
But I bought the bundle with the special edition one.
Oh. Okay.
So I already have the Mario, so I had to just buy them separately.
Yeah.
that's that. I mean, I'm really looking forward to that game because it looks like it's gonna be a blast to play. And keeping on with those, well, since we're talking about the Ray, did you ever play a Rayman game?
Fuck, barely, dude. Like I barely touched Rayman.
Well, I mean, they're kind of like Sonic games where he runs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember the Genesis stuff, but I just didn't play that.
So
I stuck more to Sonic.
Back when the Wii U was, brand new, they were gonna release a game called Rayman Legends.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So that was supposed to be a Wii U exclusive, but since the sales for the Wii were like really down, they released it for all the consoles. But still, if you ever played the Wii version of the game, that's the best version that there is out there. Well, they're coming out with a definitive version, and it's coming out for the Nintendo Switch, and there's a demo out there, so you can actually go into the eShop and download the demo. And the game is crazy fun. Like, I still like the Wii version better, but this new game is crazy fun.
Oh, there's a Pokken demo that's supposed to be coming out soon too.
Yeah, there's gonna be a Pokken 2, which I was gonna go into that.
DX, yeah.
Yeah, Pokken DX.
Yeah.
So
I just Pokemon right now.
Yeah, you're all high on Pokemon, man.
Dude, I forgot I got my Pokemon shirt on.
Yeah. Okay, so there's also something. Speaking with switching back to Sonic now that we're talking about Rayman and stuff like that. Sonic Forces.
I don't know what that is.
Well, it's a new game coming out. It's kind of like it borrows element from Sonic Generations, where you play as old school Sonic, and then you get to play as new Sonic. It's coming out for the Switch. And
that's right. I saw it was an announcement trailer for that. I saw that, yeah.
The trailer was kind of like there's like on a dystopian future and stuff like that. There's also videos about, because I think there was a demo out there for the Switch and the PS4, and the Nintendo Switch, it doesn't have the graphic fidelity of the PlayStation 4, but PlayStation 4 has elements that are not like why? Like there's a boss battle in there, and there's like a lot of grass on the PlayStation 4. I know the PlayStation 4 can render more grass.
Yeah.
But why do you need it?
True.
So, I mean, the Switch version was not bad if you're not looking for all those things. And actually, the background looked a little bit better. Like, I think the shortcomings on the console can actually be better because it's a Sonic game. It's a fast game.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be looking at the whole background. And I mean, the PlayStation version still looks alright, but there's one thing that I don't like: the voices suck.
Of course.
The voices do suck, and I'm sorry. I was a really good fan of those that work that was done by the team back when Sonic Adventure Battle 2 was at its.
Was it still the voice actor was it the same voice actor who did the voice acting for the cartoon?
Well, no. The thing is, I think if I'm not mistaken, that guy's name is.
I forgot his real name, but I know he was Steve Urkel on TV. I forgot his name.
Well, that's on the I'm talking about Sonic X.
Oh, okay.
Sonic X, I think his name was.
I don't know that. I'm not gonna know that answer.
My God, I forgot. Well, this is what happened. So they had the whole team, right? So they had the Sonic team voice actors, and then for the TV show they had the 4Kids team. And what ended up happening is that the voice actor for Eggman died. So what they did is, I guess to save money, they got the cast from 4Kids to do the voice acting for the subsequent games. So the one that I know that just really sucked was I think his name was David Humphrey. He was the voice actor for Shadow the Hedgehog on Sonic Adventure Battle 2 and Sonic Heroes. He only did Sonic Adventure 2, and they only used a couple voice clips for Sonic Heroes. And then the guy that did Sonic also did Shadow for Shadow the Hedgehog, and that's where stuff started going down. So right now the voices are not that great. So it is what it is.
True.
But just so I can fly over what I have, are gonna be some September releases that you gotta be on the lookout for. They're gonna have for PS4, they're gonna have Knack 2. They're gonna have a Gundam Versus.
I've been wanting to play Gundam.
And then they have this one. Oh my God! See if Danganronpa.
I think I heard about that.
Is that bear that has like 2 colors or something like that?
I think so.
But I've never played one of his games. Now, the Switch, of course, is gonna have Pokken, You know, with Nintendo, you're gonna have you know, the 3DS is gonna have Metroid Prime. Well, not Metroid Prime. Metroid Samus Returns.
I want to play that game when I saw the.
And then you're gonna have remakes for Gold and Silver.
Oh, I saw that too. I saw that and I was like, oh,
I don't know if they're
shit.
remakes or just downloadable versions like Yellow and
Yeah,
Blue.
because I just saw that they were gonna be released, but I didn't know that either.
They're
And I
gonna,
was like,
but they're gonna have boxes, but they're gonna have the codes inside that. So I think they're gonna be
just re-releases.
just re-releases for the eShop.
I remember playing Gold. I had Gold.
But they're gonna come up with boxes too, so you might be able to own the box too.
Oh shit!
So which is
that's insane. If I still had Gold, and I could just put it in that box.
Yeah.
I had Gold. I don't know what happened to it. I never played. I didn't have Silver, but I had Gold.
And then, well, I mean, just Pro Evolution Soccer 18, Dishonored. I believe it's like 2 or 3, something like that. Of course, Marvel vs. Capcom coming out next month. 2K18 NBA, Project Cars 2, Total War Warhammer, and of course, the cherry on top of the cake, the cherry icing, or icing cherry, whatever.
Cherry on top, yeah.
The cherry icing thing on top, because we all love that stuff. The SNES Classic, man, comes out next month.
Ah, that's right.
We're
gonna try to get our hands on. Well,
we're gonna try to camp outside somewhere.
I mean, it shouldn't be a problem because,
we should get 1 or 2 or 3. I want to get 2 because I'm a collector and I want to open one and I want to have one on display forever and ever. Amen.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with 1. I mean, I'm fine with just opening it. I mean, I'm not gonna rip the box apart and shit, but I'll open it.
Oh my god, I just don't want any surprises or anything. I don't want people to. I mean, I'm gonna be there a day early. There, I'm just gonna be camping there a day early.
Well, I'll meet you there, but
I don't want to see people that have been camping there for like 3 months or something like that. Hopefully not.
What else you got?
That for me, that's right now. That's it.
Okay, so I got movie and TV stuff to go through real quick, and then we can get to the main.
All right, let's do that.
Because I can't wait to talk about the main topic.
I can't wait to.
Okay, so Inhumans. We were trying to see, because supposedly there was a new trailer that came out. Because I know everybody saw the trailer for Inhumans, and everybody was talking about Medusa's hair, how it looked like crap, how the costumes look like cheap. Cosplay costumes, like, actually they look worse than cosplay costumes. I've seen some fucking insane cosplay because I follow a lot of cosplayers and guys and girls. But it's crazy because there was a panel. I didn't talk about this last episode, but there was a panel that was talking to the creators of Inhumans, and basically it was an argument between the creators and the people asking questions. And basically they were slamming them for how crappy this looks, and this looks like the crappiest Marvel adaptation that has come out. So this is what happened. The director was saying that he had pressure from the studio to do it quickly and cheaply.
Oh.
So that he had pressure from them saying like, look, we want this, which was weird because the whole plan was for it to go through IMAX, and that he only had a set amount of time. And he was like, look, I had to do 2 episodes in IMAX with this set amount of time, which they're full episodes in IMAX. So what ended up happening was, 1, they fixed her hair supposedly. I guess that they just released a lot of the pre-production stuff just to get the look out there, but that it was I think what happened is they pulled an X-Men Apocalypse on everybody. So they released those images of Apocalypse. Remember when he looked purple and everybody's like, oh, Ivan Ooze? And then the real images came out on Entertainment Weekly where he was blue the way he was supposed to be. I think with Medusa they did the same thing. They just released it super fast, and then supposedly now they touched it up and her hair looks better. And then on top of that, they shortened the run for the IMAX theaters. So it's not going to be a long run like it was before. So basically, I think Inhumans is going to be crap. And then speaking of Inhumans, Defenders came out this weekend. I haven't started watching it yet.
I'm gonna try watching it. Maybe tonight.
So I think I'm gonna probably start watching it tonight too. I think we're gonna do a Defenders episode maybe like in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Give everybody time to watch it, because what happened was we did a Spider-Man review the same the weekend it came out, and a lot of people didn't listen to that episode, I guess because of spoilers and stuff. Which is cool, because if you ever see us, with an episode title of something that you don't want spoiled, we always talk about that at the end of the episode, especially with movies. So you can listen to the beginning for news and stuff, and we'll say spoilers, because we only deal in spoilers. I don't like beating around the spoilers. It annoys me. But anyways, Inhumans, Defenders, Got a few more pieces real quick, and then we'll be done. Jessica Jones season 2. I don't know if you heard about this, but David Tennant, you know how he was playing Kilgrave?
Yeah.
You saw Jessica Jones, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you know how he died at the end, right? Spoilers, whatever. You guys know. If you guys don't know this,
Spoiler
get
alert!
the hell out of here. But he's back as Kilgrave
What?
in season 2. A lot of people thinking it's gonna be flashbacks, or maybe it's something in her head that stayed with her. But he's gonna be back in season 2, so that's gonna be pretty cool to have him back because he was a pretty cool villain. Like, I hated him and he pissed me off, but he was a
But
good.
you still love him?
Dude, he was a good villain, dude. Like he was, yeah, he was awesome, dude. I thought he did a good job. Next thing, we're talking about shows. Oh, this is cool. So one of my favorite movies is Galaxy Quest. I don't know if you've ever seen Galaxy Quest with
No.
Tim Allen and Sigourney Weaver. It's
No.
kind of like where they go into where like they're actors who. Okay, this is the premise. They're actors, right?
Yeah.
Who are kind of they do a show kind of like Star Trek.
Okay.
And you know they have all these like crazy fans and like they're all geeks and stuff, and some of them like really embrace it and some of them don't. They're like, oh, these fucking nerds, right, or whatever. So what happens is these aliens were watching the broadcast of the show and thought they were real,
Huh.
like commanders of a spaceship, and they needed help fighting the enemy that was trying to kill them. So they abduct these actors, like in their
Thinking
yeah,
they
and
were
then so
command-
basically they go into space, and it's funny as shit. One of my favorite movies, and they're actually making a TV series on it, and it's
What?
gonna be on Amazon. So I'm super excited. So Amazon's gonna be working on a Galaxy Quest.
Same character? I mean, same actors?
I don't think it's gonna be the same actors, cause the actors yet, and one of them passed away.
Oh, that's true.
I don't know if you know the guy who played. What's
think-
his name? He was in Harry Potter. Slytherin guy.
Alan Rickman?
Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
Yes. He passed away, so I don't think they're gonna.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a new cast because everyone's older. Then sticking with Amazon, this is kind of weird. So I didn't know this, but Robert Kirkman is having some kind of lawsuit with AMC.
Mhm.
And what's weird is that there was a report that went out that he's gonna be leaving AMC to do something for Amazon. I don't know what he's going to be doing for Amazon, but he's going to be supposed to be developing a TV show for Amazon for their streaming service and their original series or whatever. But supposedly that with the lawsuit, I don't know what the lawsuit is exactly, but that it has to do with The Walking Dead. So that maybe The Walking Dead isn't going to stick around AMC much longer. And
That's probably because
that
of
doesn't work
Daryl.
out. Because for
It's probably because of you, Daryl, and I'm talking to you,
Because
Daryl.
for sure he's talking to Norman Reedus.
No.
For those of you who don't know,
No.
he hates Norman Reedus, and I hate Kevin Smith. So
Yeah,
it's
no,
all
no.
cool though.
But if you want to be on the show,
if you want to be on the show,
no,
you can be
no.
on the show.
I don't hate Norman Reedus. I just hate Daryl. Like, I got nothing against
No,
Norman Reedus.
yeah.
I hate Daryl.
I got you. I'm just picking that wound.
How
So
it hurts.
so Walking Dead might leave AMC. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I don't know the details on that lawsuit, but it's weird because if Walking Dead stays there, can The Walking Dead really stay there without Robert Kirkman?
I mean,
Because he's gonna leave, that's for sure.
I
He's gonna be
mean,
leaving.
I guess you would just go into the right thing, and who has the right to distribute the
but
films or
he's
whatever.
isn't he the main?
Well, I mean,
he's the one that's developing the story because of how it's running with the comic books.
yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't know. Like, Marvel is the owner of their characters, and they still can't use all of them to their full potential.
Sure.
So it might be,
Okay, I don't know what's going on there, but anyways, so there's something going on with Walking Dead and Amazon and Robert Kirkman. Next thing, this is cool to me because I fucking love this movie. This is one of my favorite comedy movies. I don't know why I like it so much, but I like it.
Madea.
It's It's Hot Rod's 10th anniversary. So Hot Rod turned 10 years old, and I didn't realize. I was like, wow. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, but it's one of my fucking.
Is it the one that starts with this kid that gets in, like, he's like on a bike?
Yes.
And he's riding, and
Yes.
then you know what
The stuntman, yeah.
yeah, and then he kicks somebody in the balls at the beginning or something like that.
No, he hurts himself. But yeah, it's not like, it's weird humor. Like it's not, like it's one of those movies where like small jokes will pass by. You have to pay attention to.
Okay, you know why I hate that movie?
Did you see the whole thing though?
No,
It's funny.
You know
movie,
why?
dude.
Because back when I used to live in Mexico, they used to have marathons of whatever.
And let me guess, they played that one over and over.
No. They had marathons. So usually when they had marathons of something, they never actually finished the series. Like for instance, one time they were having an Yu-Gi-Oh marathon on that channel, and they only went to like maybe halfway through the Dual City tournament.
So how does this come to hating Hot Rod?
Because so you would be expecting the next episode to come by, and then that movie would start, and they would always play that same movie after every single marathon. If it was a Simpson marathon, they would play it afterwards. If it was a Yu-Gi-Oh marathon, they would play it. A Pokemon marathon, they would play that movie.
Are you willing to watch it?
I don't know, man. I have a lot of hatred.
He who is resistant to change shall perish. That's a quote from the movie. That I fucking love. Dude, that movie is fucking like. Have you ever heard people say like cool beans and shit like that? I hate when people say that.
Yeah, they got it from
that's that's where it comes from. But it's a cool funny movie, dude. Like it's one of my favorite comedy movies. But yeah, Hot Rod turned 10.
I guess I'll try to watch it.
Sticking to movies, and then we're done. Supposedly Gremlins 3 is still in development.
Oh, I heard that, yeah.
You heard about that, right? Because I'm a big Gremlins fan. I love the first one. I even have a Gizmo pop.
I hate Gizmo.
Well, you might love this news then. Supposedly, in the movie that they're developing now, it's supposed to be darker, and it's supposed to be about Gizmo being murdered, and they're trying to figure out who murdered Gizmo. Which sucks. Sounds weird to me.
I'm gonna sound weird, but in movies and cartoons, I've always hated the cute things. Like on Tom and Jerry, when the little puppies were outside and they were, I was like, I hope they die.
Wow.
Like I don't know why, and I'm not crazy, but I was
you sound crazy.
I just hope they die. I hope Tom catches them and eats them or something like that. Or I'm always rooting for the coyote against the
Roadrunner.
The Roadrunner and stuff like that. I don't know. And then when I saw that movie, the Gremlins, I just hated Gizmo.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know why.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I didn't like him because he was cute. I just liked him because he was like, because I liked all the Gremlins in there. It's just Gizmo stuck out to me when I saw the movie. So I was like, oh, Gremlins, so I have to get the pop and stuff. But
yeah, I mean, I hate you, Gizmo. I really do.
Well, he might die in the third one, so spoiler alert. A few more movie pieces next. Shazam is the next movie that's going to be filmed. It's going to be the next movie filming for DC. So nothing is going to be filming next because Aquaman's almost done, if I'm correct. So the next one up is Shazam. I don't even know who they cast.
I wonder what they're gonna do with Shazam.
Because it was supposedly Dwayne the Rock Johnson was supposed to be
Black Adam.
Yeah, and then I forgot who they said. They said something about, I don't know who Shazam's gonna be.
Because they haven't done anything with the comic book character so far.
He's been in the games though, right?
He's been in the games, but I've gone to the comic book stores and I have not seen a Shazam storybook.
Maybe he's like just a character now that pops into like some of the other series and doesn't have his own stamp.
I don't know, but I love Shazam. Like I love the concept of a little kid just like Shazam, and he turns into a big buff guy.
I love that part in what was it?
Injustice?
Flash movie, Flashpoint.
Flashpoint Paradox.
When he kills the. Was it Shazam that kills the kids or something? Or?
No, the Wonder Woman, because they were in an alternate universe. So instead of Shazam just being one,
it's a bunch of kids. Right?
It's a bunch of kids that get together.
They get slaughtered, right?
Yeah, they get slaughtered.
Dude, that was fucking crazy. I was like, woo.
Yeah. That was a grim movie.
Next piece.
But it was cool.
This is weird to me. So okay, I'm gonna say supposedly again. That's my favorite word, only because some of these fucking reports that I read, it's hard for me to trust them. But what I read is that this is all confirmed. This is all fucking.
Then
confirmed.
Why you say supposedly?
Because I've heard some things being confirmed and then I find out they're not confirmed. Like the whole thing with Hugh Jackman and Scar.
Yeah.
Because I saw it was confirmed. Okay, so this is confirmed that they're in development. That Disney is working on an Obi-Wan solo film, a Boba Fett solo film, a Young Yoda solo film, and a Jabba the Hutt solo film. 4 different spin-off solo films that are in development and they're confirmed. Now being in development doesn't mean they're gonna happen. In development means that they're trying to make something of them. So out of those 4, maybe only 1 might go through, or 2 might go through, or 3. I don't know. But those are the 4 names they have on there. So Obi-Wan, Boba Fett, Yoda, and Jabba. Honestly, out of those 4, I'd rather just see Obi-Wan and Yoda. Honestly, I mean, even Yoda, we've seen a lot of Yoda because I mean, you have the animated series that have a lot of Yoda in them, and then the prequels had a lot of Yoda in them. So I really don't know how much of Yoda's history you can show, unless they're gonna take some stuff from the comic.
Isn't he like 900 years old when he died?
Yeah, but I mean, come on, how far back do you want to go?
Well, that's when he's fit, I guess. When he's not all.
And then Star Wars. This is confirmed that in the last Jedi, the movie coming out this December, Tom Hardy's in it.
Oh.
I don't know who he's playing.
That guy's been in all what?
I don't know what he's playing or who he's playing. But Tom Hardy is gonna be
So he's gonna be the new Venom, right?
Yes, he's gonna be the new Venom.
And then he was back in Mad Max. And then he did Bane. What else is he gonna do? What else did he do?
Has he done?
Yeah,
I know he's done quite a bit of cool stuff, but yeah, man, Tom Hardy's the man. You can be on the show too if you want. One more piece and then we're done. Because I don't really want to talk about Jurassic World Evolution.
Yeah,
because video game.
Because he thought it was a movie, guys.
Well, I thought it was a trailer for the movie.
But it turns out
actually there is a trailer for the movie. It's Jurassic World 2 Fallen Kingdom. That's what it's called.
Is that a movie?
That's what the movie's called. That's what part 2 is called. Fallen Kingdom. But I don't care. Whatever. It's out. So Punisher trailer came out. The actual trailer for the Punisher, like, it looks sick, dude.
It looked more like a teaser than a trailer.
Yeah, but you know what they call trailers these days. It's like fucking. But I mean, there was, I think, it was like a minute and a half long.
Yeah, so he's just there like sledgehammering the hell out of the ground.
But then like you see him like with shotguns, like shooting, and then like it's flashbacks to him and his family and
how they get killed. They get killed pretty brutal.
But if you're excited for Defenders this weekend and all that stuff, Punisher is gonna be coming out. And I'm done. Do you have anything?
No, let's get to the
main
meat of this.
So this is, for those of you who don't know, this episode is going to be our top 10 video games, in parentheses, of all time.
For us.
I mean, we're going to go back and forth, each saying a game until we go through with 10. The rules are only one title per franchise, and every time you want to talk about more games of that franchise, when you name one, you can just go ahead and name them as honorable mentions or whatever. Then when we're done with our 10, we'll just talk about some of the leftovers that didn't make the list that could have, because there was just so many games I had a hard time like trying to pin down 10. So we're gonna go ahead and go through them. I don't know if you're doing them in any specific order, but I tried to put them in order from 10 to 1.
Mine 10 to 1. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do that. Like I said, if you guys had any lists, actually, there was only one person who submitted something. He didn't submit a list, but at Inamorata Official on Instagram said Silent Hill 2.
Silent Hill 2. I mean, it's not part of my top 10, but I played those games, and those games are cool.
So Silent Hill 2 was somebody that was one that somebody sent in. And if you guys, like I said, I mean, even if you guys want to send it in after this episode, I'll read some more next time. But let's start. So do you want to go first?
You go first.
Okay. So, and then we'll give our reasons for the game, blah, blah, blah.
So, number 10, Mario.
10 for me.
For Mario.
Guitar Hero 2. PS2.
Okay.
So I had never... Rhythm-based games, I had dabbled in them before. You know, Dance Dance Revolution, and then there was a couple of other ones, too. Because I think Harmonix had developed some ones earlier before Guitar Hero. So, but Guitar Hero 2 was... I remember when Guitar Hero 1 came out, and I was like, whatever. Because, I mean, for those of you guys who don't know, I'm a guitarist. So, Guitar Hero 2 came out, and that game hooked me, not only with the songs, but it was crazy because, like, the whole thing was, like... Guitar Hero 2 was when it blew up, and that's when it caught my attention. Guitar Hero 2 was, like, at the peak of this whole rock music thing with, you know, the whole rhythm-based gaming and blah, blah, blah. What was crazy about Guitar Hero 2, though, is that it was Red Octane, Harmonix, and Activision that all had hands in this game. And when Guitar Hero 2 came out, the first two, the companies didn't have the money to buy the licensing rights for the songs. So do you know what a cover song is?
Yeah.
Okay. So for those of you who don't know what a cover song is, it's when a group of people or another band does somebody else's song. So basically, since they didn't have the licensing rights, which didn't happen until Guitar Hero 3, the developers, anyone working on the game, a lot of those people played instruments. So what they did was that group, all the developers, they had a hand in making the set list for the game. They actually played and sang the songs that you hear. So Guitar Hero 1 and Guitar Hero 2 aren't the original artists. If you go through, it'll say like as performed by. And what's crazy is that some of the developers and the companies had their own bands. So some of their band songs are in the game as unlockables. And like I think everybody knows this song. If you Did you play Guitar Hero 2?
No. I sucked at it.
There was a song in there called Arterial Black by Drist. And I didn't know who Drista was, and I found out that Drista was a band from one of the developers. And that game, like, everybody fucking loved that. It was a fucking awesome song, and it was a cool song to play. And it was one of these games where, like, I got good at it so quick that I had to play on Expert. So every game that came out, like, after that, for Guitar Hero Rock Band, I had to play on Expert. Like, I couldn't play on any other difficulty. And that game, for me, will, like, introduce me to, like, rhythm-based games, and I was like, holy shit, like... Because Dance Dance Revolution, I saw people playing it. I never really got into it. Mm-hmm. And then it was fun for me to watch people doing it. And then after this game came out, because I still have my Guitar Hero 2 controller with the box. Ooh. I still have it. I have that one, and then I have my white controller that came with that I got with Guitar Hero 3 in the box. So I still have and they still work. So I still have the wired peripheral and the wireless peripheral for 3. But honorable mentions, I'm gonna have to go with for rhythm-based games. Well, no, I don't want to say rhythm-based because it was a different title. But Guitar Hero 3, and then I want to say Guitar Hero Metallica. But so my number 10 is gonna be Guitar Hero 2. So like this is of all time. So that's like one of these titles that one, it blew up and it was fucking huge when it came out. That was like the peak. And then 2, it was so fucking addicting. I don't know how many hours of fucking gameplay I put into this game. Like, just unlocking stuff, customizing your character, and, with the different unlockables. And Guitar Hero 2, my number 10.
That's your number 10? It looks like, it sounds like it was your number 1.
No. Oh, wait till we get to number 1.
All right. So
you can't cheat and look at my list either.
So my number 10, and probably Mario's never played this game, but my number 10 is Wonderful 101. And
you told me about this game. I haven't played it.
I've talked about this game.
Oh, you have on the episode?
Many times, and I can't stop recommending this game to everybody. It's got the perfect combination of difficulty. A lot of people complain about the controller.
Oh, also, too, mentioning what system it was for.
It's the Wii U.
Okay, mine was for PS2.
It's the Wii U. Okay. Yes, I'm a little bit biased towards Nintendo, but trust me, my list has some other.
That's cool, I believe you.
But I can't stop recommending this game. This game, a lot of people were actually just saying stuff about the way the controller feels, but bullshit. The controllers are fine. It's one of the best games that I've ever played. It's kind of like it plays like a Ultimate Alliance kind of thing. And what you do is it's a cast of superheroes. It's
top view RPG.
Yeah. And it's you had a teacher that he's and it's really corny too. You have a teacher, you have like a spy and stuff, a little kid that plays games, and they have colors like the Power Rangers. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to find there's this thread, if I'm not mistaken, these guys that consume planets or something like that. They destroy planets, so they're gathering all the intel and not the intel, but all the heroes that they come up with. So you have to find the whole 100 heroes, because the 1 stands for you.
Yeah.
There's 100 heroes, and then the 1 is you.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because as you're going through the cities, there's going to be civilians. So what you do is you can draw a circle around them with the switch, and those civilians will get temporary powers. So you can use them, and then you can build construct like Green Lantern. You can turn into a sword, or if you're using the red one as your lead, it'll turn into a punch. And then the blue one is like a freaking sword. The black one is I think it's a bomb. And then the pink one is some claws and stuff like that. So the more heroes you have at your disposal, the bigger the powers. And dude, it's just an amazing game to play. The story is good. The humor is amazing. I mean, if you just look on YouTube, Wonderful 101 Last Attack, you'll see it's called Super Great Ultimate Mega Powerful. Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know the name, but it's super cool. And there's just a lot of parts. Like I said, the humor, the story, everything, the controllers, the difficulty of the game, the secret, the secrets that they have. Because also, I think since it's by Platinum Games, I think Bayonetta makes a cameo appearance there too. Oh shit! So she's in hero form, so she's like kind of tiny, but it's super cool, and I can't stop recommending. So my number 10 is Wonderful 101 for the Wii U.
I remember he recommended me that game a while back, and I was like, yeah, I mean, because there's a lot of games that I like to play that I haven't played. That I'm like, oh, like this seems cool. Like I haven't played this before. And like I think Project X too. What is it called? Project X.
Project X Zone.
Zone, yeah, Project.
Yeah.
I always forget that last word. I played the demo and I've been wanting to play like both of them now. And like I'm like, oh shit! Like I even want to hunt them down and I'll like Well, anyways, so that was your number 10.
That was my number 10.
Okay, number 9. So what I tried to do on my list is I tried to mix it up and I tried to throw in different types of games so that they wouldn't all be the same type of game. For my number 9 is gonna be Tekken 6.
Tekken 6.
I always loved fighting games. Like I think one of the first fighting games that I played, and I think this is like for everybody, and that was Street Fighter 2 and the arcade. The arcade cabinet. That's what I played. I remember on the weekends, my dad used to take us to. There was a restaurant a few blocks from where I lived, and on the weekend, of course, we weren't going to school on Sunday. We would go buy tacos, and so it was a Mexican restaurant. So we would go in the morning. He would wake my ass up, and I hated fucking waking up in the morning, right? So I would go in. There was a fucking Street Fighter 2 fucking cabinet in there, and I would see the demo play, or I would play it too, and. Anyways, flash forward, then I would play more. I played Mortal Kombat. I had the Mortal Kombat games on my. Stop looking at my list.
I'm not looking at your list.
Mortal Kombat games on Genesis and all that stuff. Killer Instinct on Nintendo.
Yeah.
But Tekken 6, I fucking loved Tekken 6 because Tekken 5 was a cool game too. But Tekken 6 on PS3, this was when you started to get that gen where everything just looked fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. Like you even had this kind of another mode too, where like you were just playing one character going through a story, like beating up minions and stuff. But and then you had this was like the second game that had Lily in it, and Lily is one of my favorite players. She was introduced in 5, and it's just I don't know, the Tekken 6 was to me like one of the coolest fighting games that I had played up until that time. And I fucking loved playing that game. I think I almost cleared it and almost got platinum on that one. But Tekken 6, I fucking love.
Have you tried 7?
I haven't tried. No, I don't think I've tried 7. The last Tekken game that I played, unfortunately, was Tekken Tag 2, and I loved that one too. So Tekken 6. I mean, if anyone loves fighting games, Tekken is fucking awesome. Like right behind Mortal Kombat and all that stuff. Or I don't know. It's just me. I prefer Tekken. I know you're a Street Fighter guy.
I'm a Street Fighter guy.
Yeah, I mean, I love Street Fighter 2. I love Mortal Kombat, and I love Marvel vs. Capcom. But Tekken 6, I had to put on this because it was just it's just a fun. Also, too, I love customizing. Mm-hmm. And Tekken 6 introduced more customization. Like you can go in and like there's even mods now. I think maybe it was 7.
No, 7 just released.
Okay, 7. Okay, so then it was 6. And I'm talking. Well, I saw some mods for 7, but I don't want to talk about that now. But in Tekken 6 was crazy because like you could like make like your character look like a Power Ranger, and like you can unlock all these pieces, and then the music was awesome too. And then sticking with Tekken, just my honorable mentions real quick. Tekken 5, because Tekken 5 introduced a lot of the cool characters that I like. It took out a lot of the shitty ones. Like we saw a video where Gon was in. I was like, fuck Gon. Yeah. And if you guys remember Gon, and then there was too that professor. I think he was in 5. That's the last time they had him in. I forgot what the professor's name was. But all he would do was like drop on the ground and like roll, and like fucking hated him. And then Tekken Tag 2 was another one that I wanted to name too. But Tekken 6 is the one that really like. I was like, dude, this is what a fighting game is supposed to be. Because I also played some of the Virtual Fighter games, and I played some of the Soul Calibur games too, which are fucking awesome games too. But it's just Tekken 6, man. I had to put a fighting game on the list, and if I had to pick any, it would be Tekken 6.
All right.
For my number 9.
So for my number 9 for Luis, Sonic Adventure Battle 2, man. That game is amazing. It's, if you played the first one, the Sonic Adventure, the one for the Dreamcast, or Sonic DX, as they called it on the GameCube, Battle Adventure 2 is still by far the best one. It's got a good story, and also it introduces my favorite Sonic character, Shadow. That's my favorite character. It also has that side thing where you can raise chows, the little blue things.
Yeah.
You get to race them. You get to give them candy, animal. Well, no, they're called drives. So they're power drives, speed drives, or stamina drives, or whatever. You get to feed them. You can actually punch them, because for some reason I have a thing against cute stuff. You can actually punch them, and they'll go to the dark side. They can become evil. There's like a hell, and there's like a heaven. I don't know how many hours I spent playing that thing, man. Just trying to, because there's there's a child dojo where you get your little babies to fight against other babies, and then there's a racing one where you get them to race against everybody else. So that one I loved, and then just the levels, the voice acting, everything on that game was perfect. And if you haven't played it, I really recommend you playing that game.
A lot of those games on your list, I'm probably gonna want to play. I mean, yes.
So that game actually released for GameCube. There's actually if you have a PS3, you can actually download that. There's also actually Steam. I don't know if it came out for PlayStation 2, but I'm pretty sure it did. So that game is there. That game is awesome. Wherever you play it, it's an awesome game to play.
That was Sonic, right? Do you have any honorable mentions for that?
No.
Not even Sonic, like 1 or 2?
I mean, I already said that the Sonic, I mean, okay, the Sega ones I like, but
because I'm talking about like franchise, like anything you want to
like
say
the
about
platformers.
Any game that's linked to that franchise.
They're cool games. Don't get me wrong, but they're not my top 10 material.
Huh? Because I really love Sonic 2, the one with Tails.
The one with Tails.
One, I still have that game. And that's one of my favorite. It's not on my list, but
yeah, I mean,
I fucking love that game.
This is how I ran my list. I picked the game based on the franchise, and if just the game. Honorable mentions, I'm gonna tell them at the very end.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna go by franchise. I'm gonna go by games.
Okay. I'm gonna do mine by franchise and by games.
I've played the games, the original Sonic games.
Yeah.
And I like them, but they're not my top 10 material. They're not material for me to put on the top 10. I got Sonic Mania, but
Gotcha.
So Sonic Adventure Battle 2, that's a badass game, and I really do recommend people playing it. It's out there.
Gotcha. Ready for number 8?
Let's see what you have on number 8.
Okay, man. Resident Evil 8. Like I said, I'm trying to go down the list as and basically how I ran my list too. It was like story, the impact it had on my gaming or even on the gaming world. Also too, because there's a lot of games that everyone's gonna want to name, but maybe later on there was an updated that the game got updated later on in the franchise. It even made it more awesome. So that's what I'm looking at too. Replay value, how long I put into the game.
Yeah.
How long I put into the game. So my next one is gonna be Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil 4.
Now Resident Evil 4 is gonna be a lot of people are gonna call that as one of their tops in the Resident Evil franchise. And Resident Evil 4 has a huge franchise going into the Wii, going into GameCube, going into DS, it goes everywhere. Resident Evil. But Resident Evil 4 on the PS2, I played that game. Me and my brothers played that game so much. That game was so fucking awesome because when I grew up, when I was in middle school and high school, I played 2 and 3 a lot. I had to go back and play 1, so I kind of skipped 1. So I started with 2 and 3. I played Code Veronica on PS1, and those games were fucking awesome. I remember playing Nemesis over and over because I fucking love that game. I tried to do a speed run and try to, hit the fucking goal where you get an A ranking.
Yeah.
I tried to do all that, but Resident Evil 4 was the game that finally got away from that fucking anchored camera.
Yeah.
Where you fucking turn the corner and you couldn't see shit. Fucking Resident Evil 4 was the first one to break away from that. The monster, they added more to the zombie lore where now they had some of them had a mind of their own because of the virus, the type of virus it was. Then Leon was fucking awesome in this fucking game, and then the whole setting, the way it looked real dark, and it was like real European, and it was just a fucking awesome game. And then on top of that, I love games with unlockables and things that you can collect. And on this one, you have the little things that you have to shoot, and then you get the bottle caps and unlock the little figurines. And Resident Evil 4 was fucking awesome. I don't know how fucking I even actually got multiple copies of that game. I had gotten the game when it came out, then I had got the greatest hits for some reason, then I got the DLC version on the PS3 for when the collection came out. I got it for my brother. I think that one came with Code Veronica 3, 4, and I think what was it? Fucking the one where you collect the fucking files. I forgot what the fuck game that was. They came out with 1 and 2, whatever. But anyways, so Resident Evil 4 is right there on my number 8, and my honorable mentions for the Resident Evil franchise. like I said, 2 and 3, those are the ones that got me into fucking playing Resident Evil, and everybody knows, the dogs jumping out of the window and fucking, that jump scare is like one of everyone's first, jump scares in a fucking horror survival game. Revelations, I fucking loved Revelations. I haven't played Revelations 2, but Revelations is one of those games where like I'd be bored some night and I just wanted to shoot things, but I didn't want to go online. Yeah. And like Revelations, it was just nonstop raid modes, and you would just go in solo raid modes. And then another one, a lot of people didn't like 6, but I really like 6. I like the cinematic feel of it. 5 was good, don't get me wrong. 5, I have my own issues with 5, only because I heard it was supposed to be one way before it came out, and it came out to be something else. 5 was cool too, but 6 is, is up there too, but Resident Evil 4 is my number 8.
I mean, I have fond memories of Resident Evil 4 on the Wii.
I mean, Resident Evil, to me, it was a big part of me, like, getting into gaming, too. Also, too, me and my brothers played that together, too. Like, we would try to see who got so far on, and then from then on, like, we kind of stuck together as gamers going through the franchise as it came out. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Resident Evil.
That's your 8?
Yeah, that's my 8.
All right, so my 8... This is gonna be it's kind of an obscure game, but I really have a bunch of fond memories about that game.
Yeah, okay.
It's the Flintstones, the Treasure of Sierra Madrock.
I think I heard of the title, but I've never seen it or.
So this is how it is. It's a platformer game.
What console?
It's for this. Well, I think it came out for the Sega and for the Super Nintendo, but the Super Nintendo, of course, is a way better version.
Okay.
So what it is it's imagine like a board. And then you get to roll a dice. Okay. And then once you roll a dice, you go into whatever world or stage you actually land on. Okay. And the stages ranged from really, really easy to crazy hard. Crazy hard. I mean, for a kid, when I played it, I was like, and then at the end, there's always like a racing card kind of thing. They're like running, or I don't remember if they're a card or they're running, but that game was sick, man. It was awesome. I spent hours and hours playing that game, which is weird because I never owned it. I would always rent it, and I would never finish it. And then I would ask my parents again to rent it again for the next time. But it was an awesome game. I own it now.
Oh, I was gonna ask.
I own it now. I own it now. But man, that game is amazing, and it's just like, for me, it has a lot of. It made it to my top 10 because since I own it, I played it the other day. And it's still loads of fun, man. It's still loads of fun.
That's insane.
I mean, for when I was a kid, I swear it was longer than what it is.
Yeah.
It's a short game, but still, like, I hold a lot of dear memories to that game, and I still love that game.
Cool. That sounds cool to me.
That's my 8. I mean, like I said, it's not a
SNES. You said, right?
Yeah, SNES. It's not a industry breaking game or to the very least, but it's a game that I do recommend to people because some of those back in the day, some of those jewels, those gems, I mean, there was no internet to judge your games. So there's a lot of games out there that many people haven't played, but they're awesome. Yeah, and that is one of them.
Well, like, we were watching a video earlier before we started the show, and there's a game, I don't know if anybody remembers it, but it's called Boogerman for Sega Genesis. And that game is fun. Like, it's a really weird game, like, because you had never heard of it, right?
It's just really disgusting from what I've seen.
Nah, not really. I mean, you would think so, right? But like, when you start playing it, like, it's just weird because, like, it's real original. Like, even the music, the settings in the game, blah blah blah. But anyways, that's for another day. But Boogerman, if you guys remember that, whoop, whoop. Number 7.
You're 7.
So it was this was hard for me because I felt like I had to put a Mario game on this list. Like, I fucking had to, because Mario was a big part of me gaming too. So so this was my number 7, and then of course I have honorable mentions for this whole franchise. For Super Mario, Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins for the Game Boy. For the Game Boy, that was the first Mario game that I owned, like, fucking brand new. My parents got it for me bundled with the Game Boy Pocket when it came out, and I fucking spent so many fucking hours of, like, after school playing that game. Like, I would beat it and then beat it again and then beat it again and then beat it again. I fucking loved, like, because up until this point I had played Super Mario World, which I fucking loved. I loved the music, like, but I didn't own it. So the same thing, I would rent it and stuff like that too. But Super Mario Land 2 was mine. Like, I had it in the Game Boy box with the with the fucking cartridge, like the ones that you have there. and I don't have it anymore. I don't know what happened to it. But that was one of my fucking favorite games. And then sticking to that, like my honorable mentions for that. For this franchise, Super Mario, like I said, Super Mario World was going to be on my list too, but Super Mario Land 2 had to knock it out. 6 golden coins. You played it, right?
You know what's funny about that game? When they came up with Super Mario World, well, the original Super Mario, the sequel to that, there was going to be many of the elements that came out in that game were actually going to be on the Super Mario Bros. 2 version, but they got cut up out of development for some reason. And you know that there's a part where there's like Mario gets into a little submarine or a cart and it becomes a shooter. Well, that was originally meant to be what Mario was gonna be when he got the flower.
Oh, the flower power.
The flower power. But yeah, and then what's cool about that too is that the sequel to Super Mario Bros. Is actually in the US it's called Super Mario The Lost Levels, because here
we talked about that.
So because there was a game called Toki Panic or something like that,
okay, yeah.
and they got reskinned the Super Mario Bros. 2 for the US, which is really cool. But you know that's your 8.
Well, it's my 7.
That's your 7.
So Super Mario Land 2, and then honorable mentions. Like I said, Super Mario World for SNES. I have it. I think we both have it. And Super Mario Land 1, the first one. I actually own that one too, and that one I would speed.
Super Mario Bros.
Super Mario Land. That's what it was called. So, because this is Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins, and Super Mario Land was like, it was weird because he kind of looked like a Game & Watch guy.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember.
Yeah. So there was actually 3. There was Super Mario Land, which was I think Daisy was in it. I think it was Daisy.
Yeah.
So I remember that game. I would fucking try to speedrun it, try to beat it every time. So it was Super Mario Land, then Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins, which is my fave. Then Super Mario Land 3 was Wario Land. So it was Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3, which is, I owned that game too, and I fucking loved that game, dude. Playing as Wario, like, the music was awesome, the fucking gameplay was awesome. Like, he had special powers that Mario didn't have. So, like, but he would get hats. So, like, he had a jet hat, and, like, he would, like, and then he had a bull hat that he would, like, use to charge into. I don't know how many fucking times I played that game. Like, dude, I fucking loved that game. And then still sticking with Super Mario before I move from number 7, Mario Kart 64, and Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga.
Oh, that's cool.
I fucking loved that game for Game Boy Advance. That game was...
You know that they're actually going to do a remake of that game.
No fucking way.
Yeah, they're going to do a remake.
Dude, I fucking loved that game. Like, it was my brother's game, and I remember... I was like, oh, that's a Mario game, let me try it out. Dude, I got so fucking addicted to that game, and then, like, the beans and stuff, and I fucking loved it. But my number 7 is Super Mario Land 2.
Yeah.
All right. I had to have a Mario game.
Number 7, and this is going to be one of those games also where it's like, what, that game? This game is called Day of Reckoning 2.
Okay.
You know what it is?
No.
That's a wrestling game.
What system? SNES?
GameCube.
Oh, shit.
It's a GameCube game. It's Day of Reckoning. So... If you have, this was by THQ, back in the days. Okay. So this game it basically had at the time the most awesome, cool, badass creator wrestler. Like you could practically, and I did myself in those. You know, I mean,
I love those games. Really,
yeah, I would spend hours creating a wrestler, going through the story. Because at the time we started getting SmackDown versus Raw or Raw versus SmackDown. The difference between those games is that SmackDown versus Raw is more scripted, more choreographed. Like if you start a finisher move, it'll open a cinema, it'll do a cinematic and it'll finish. Here is more freestyle. If you're playing against a computer, and if you're playing, let's say, a triple threat, and a computer does a finisher, you can actually interrupt that finisher. There's so many variables to that game. Like you can actually do a spear through the ropes on top of chairs. You could do anything on that game. Of course, there's a lot of things that you can't do, but you can jump in the cell breaks and you fall to the ring. You can get items. You can throw the items. You can do submission moves. You can be playing like a tag team match, and you can betray your partner, and you can attack the referee.
Oh shit!
I mean, okay, so there were some matches where if you attack the referee, you would get disqualified automatically. But there were some moves that if you would attack the computer and the computer would move, you would actually attack the referee and he wouldn't disqualify you because you didn't mean to.
Yeah.
Now in wrestling, it's really you know it. Like there was one of my favorite wrestlers of all time is Eddie Guerrero, and he would be known for with his lie, cheat, steal model. So he would do a lot of things, and one of the things that he would do is that when the ref was knocked out, he would get a weapon and he would hit the other wrestler, and then he would pretend that he got hit with the weapon, or he would throw the weapon away.
Yeah.
So here on this one, if you knock out the ref like that and you go get a weapon, you can actually attack the guy with the weapon, throw it away. And then once he wakes up, you can pin the guy, and you will still win the match, which I thought is really, really cool. And you don't see that in SmackDown versus Raw or the new ones, which are the 2K, WWE, whatever, which I don't like.
The WWE.
Yeah. So for my number 7, Day of Reckoning is gonna be Day of Reckoning 2 for the GameCube is my number 7.
I had a WrestleMania game actually I still have it for SNES.
Well, there was a lot. There was WrestleMania. There was that one was cool, but I mean for SNES, whatever.
But now, the whole customized thing.
Yeah, on the GameCube though, you had that like a lot of customization, and you had WWE. My favorite one for the 64 is WWE No Mercy, but you have WrestleMania 2000. You had WCW against WW whatever. Mm-hmm. You had ECW too.
When did it change to WWE? It was like after 2000?
Yeah,
it was WWE.
Yeah, it was World Wrestling Federation, and then they had like a lawsuit with.
Yeah, then it was World Wrestling
Entertainment. Yeah, but if you're looking for a fine wrestling game, look no further than Day of Reckoning.
Is it hard to find?
I don't know if it's hard to find. I have a copy of 1 and 2, but like I said, by far 2 is the best, and that's not to mention that we have gems on the 64 in the form of like I said, No Mercy, WWF No Mercy. But Day of Reckoning 2 by far takes the cake on all the wrestling games.
Sounds good. Number 6. You ready for number 6?
Let's see, what do you have?
I don't even know what I have on here. Mega Man X for SNES. Man.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So, Mega Man X, this is crazy because I've played quite a few Mega Man games on different consoles. Consoles. I don't know why I say it like that. I just say it like that. But Mega Man X was the game that got me into Mega Man. And I didn't own it either. What it was a friend of mine, and I think I was like at middle school, let me borrow it. I had a Nintendo, and I think we traded games to try out. And he let me borrow Mega Man X, and I fucking loved the game. Like Mega Man X, I spent a lot of time on it, and of course I was going to school. I had homework and band practice and all that crap. I didn't get to play it as much as I wanted to, but I remember playing that game so much, and I was like, oh man, I gotta finish this. Like, because this was the one that had the animal enemies. I think there was like the chameleon. Yeah. I fucking love that game. So like I said, Mega Man X, I had to put it on the list because it led me into other Mega Man games that became my favorites. Right off the bat, there was 3 that I played that became my favorites. I'm gonna go with the top one real quick, and these are the honorable mentions because Mega Man X is gonna take it from me, and I don't own it, which sucks because I want to try to get a copy of this game, Mega Man X. Mega Man X Command Mission. That was for PS2. That one was pretty cool because it was an RPG turn-based game. So it was third person. So you would have, I think it was, there were 6 characters, but I think only 3 could play at a time. So like the team would swap out as the story progressed, and then like you could go and like there was like maps and stuff, and then like there was also collectibles and that one was really fun. I always tried to clear that one 100%, and I never did. It was just a really fun game. If you've never played it or you want to know more about it, you should look that game up. I don't know how hard it is to find because supposedly when I bought it, I actually bought it at a pawn shop, dude. I found it. This was like way back in the day. I found it and it was in a good case and everything, and then something happened and I don't know what happened to it. But supposedly that game was worth quite a bit when I got it. So anyways, X Command Mission on PS2. Another one is Maverick Hunter X on PSP.
Maverick Hunter
I fucking love that one. And then last one that I gotta mention is one. I don't know which one it was exactly, but it was one of the Battle Network games for I think it was for the SP.
Well,
the Game Boy SP. It might have been for the SP.
All the Battle Networks up until 5 were released on the Game Boy, and they actually did a double release on the DS, which is Team Proto Man and Team Colonel.
For sure, it wasn't those. It was there were older ones.
But because you have Battle Network, which is the first one. That's a Game Boy Advance game. Mm-hmm. There's Battle Network 2, and then there's Battle Network 3, which branched into white and
You know what? It might have been the first one.
the first one.
Yeah, I think it was the first one.
Because I own because on those, my favorite games out of the series is 3, the white version,
Yeah.
and then Blue Moon, the Mega Man Battle Network 4, Blue Moon.
Oh yeah,
That
I
one
didn't play
that
those
one
for
I
sure.
own both. Actually, I think I have them right there. And then on my micro, every time I go to the restroom, I play Blue Moon.
Cool. So yeah, my number 6 had to go to Mega Man.
If you know, so I can add to your list.
Yeah,
You
go
know,
for
so
it.
that you want to try out.
Yeah.
Try the Mega Man Zero games for the Game Boy Advance.
Mega Man 0.
The Mega Man Zero games are amazing too. There are 4 games total, and dude, it's an epic odyssey.
Yeah, I mean, and also because I know you probably played Maverick Hunter X. Right?
Yeah,
I played it for PSP, and I fucking loved that game. Like, also too, what was crazy about that game, I don't know if you played for the PSP. Did you play it for the PSP?
No.
What was cool about the PSP version is that when you beat it, you unlocked a movie.
Oh wow.
There was a movie on the actual fucking game. So once you cleared it like 100% or like some percent, you would unlock a movie and it would save to your card.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I actually still have my card. I don't have the game anymore, but the card is still there, so it still shows my percentage, and the movie is still on there.
Oh shoot, that's pretty cool.
So yeah, Mega Man X for my number 6 SNES.
All right, so my number 6. This is a Marvel. Well, it's based on a Marvel game.
Okay.
This is Spider-Man Maximum Carnage.
Oh yeah, we've talked about
That game.
one too. Yeah.
It's one of the best beat 'em up I've ever played in my life, and Carnage is a bitch at the end. It's one of the worst, or not the worst, but one of the hardest bosses to defeat, which I still haven't done without cheating.
Yeah.
Because I've beaten him. I've beaten him when I played the game on an emulator, but I still own the game. But I have not been able to defeat the game or beat the game playing just with the regular controller.
Yeah.
So that's one of my things. But that game is amazing. The music, the music is amazing. The dan, 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 dan. I mean, the first thing that you would hear when you would pop in the cartridge and turn on the SNES, that was also for Sega, but like I said, the superior version would always be the SNES. You would hear that dan, 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 that music, and then if you let the story played, you would have like a comic kind of thing. So it was like a comic book, like you were reading the characters, the introduction, and man, it was just that the music in between it. Dun, 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 dun,
I don't think I've ever played the game, but I've seen video of it.
Dun, 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 dun. Man, I love that game. That's a game. If you like beat 'em ups and you want a good beat 'em up game, Spider-Man Maximum Carnage.
I guess adding to yours for SNES, I'm gonna say Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
We talked about it. I had to show you a video on it, and I don't know which one came out first, but Spider-Man. If I had to throw it
that one is like a 3D platformer.
No, it's not 3D.
No.
Mm-mm.
Are you talking about Separation Anxiety?
Mm-mm. I play Separation Anxiety, and that game is shit.
Yeah, that game.
I have
shitty.
it for Genesis, and that game is crap. No, it's called Spider. Remember, we had a conversation about this. It starts with the intro from the animated series.
Oh.
It's just called Spider-Man. That's all it's called. You fight Green Goblin, you fight Hobgoblin, you fight Alistair Smythe, you fight who else do you fight? But it's just it's basically like Maximum Carnage, but it's Spider-Man.
Well, I mean, I'll try to look for that game, but
yeah,
like I said,
dude, I have it.
Well, then we'll have to play it one of these days.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Spider-Man, if you like that beat 'em up style game, dude, and then they have a lot of cameos from Iron Fist, from Cloak and Dagger, from Captain America, from who else? Firestorm, I think that's her name.
Mm-hmm.
Morbius, the vampire.
Dang, that sounds pretty cool.
Another guy, I don't remember.
Is Punisher in there?
I don't know. I want to think there was a guy, but I don't remember his name, and he kind of looked like Cyborg, but I don't remember his name.
Huh.
But man, like that game is,
that
really,
game sounds like I played it, but I can't say I have.
Dude, I mean that's an awesome game. If you really want a good beat 'em up, that's the way to go. Maximum Carnage.
What's at the end? Is he like is he in? Oh no, because
I fought Venom at the end. Check it out. You get to play as Spider-Man and Venom.
Oh yeah, I never played it.
Man.
Yeah, for
sure. That's just an
it.
amazing game. You have to play it.
Well, because Spider-Man was hard, man. Because I remember it was one of those games that took me a while to beat because Venom was at the end and he was like in a maximum security prison, and you had to collect these key cards to open different levels of the prison to get to him, and there was like 6. It was fucking hard. But anyways, story for another time. Number 5, you ready?
Right, what's it?
Number 5 is Final Fantasy 13 for PS3.
I know you were gonna have a Final Fantasy.
Dude, I had to put a Final Fantasy game on there. I love Final Fantasy. The first, this is weird because a lot of people are gonna talk about Final Fantasy 7, which is fine. I know it's an awesome game. The remake's gonna be coming out. Yeah, it's gonna be coming out I think like next year or something. But Final Fantasy 13. This is one that this is how obsessed I was with this game. So when Final Fantasy 13 came out, because I had played X and X2 with my brothers and I never beat it. I dabbled in it. Final Fantasy 13 was the one where I fucking got like immersed in that fucking game. Like, I was like, I had read an article. It was actually a Game Informer. Mm-hmm. They said that any Final Fantasy game that came out for PlayStation was going to be impossible to get a platinum trophy on. That it was impossible. Like, there's no way in hell that anyone would be able to get. This was before Skyrim came out. So that no one would ever be able to get a fucking platinum trophy. And I was like, fuck that. Because I was a trophy whore at the time. Well, I still am, but whatever. So Final Fantasy 13, you had Lightning Sarah, the cast that went through 13-2 and Lightning Returns, which was 13-3. So I was like, I'm going to get a platinum trophy. I'm going to fucking do it. So what I did was, and what's crazy about this game is that I wasn't planning on playing the game, but my sister got me 13-1 and 2 for Christmas that year that I played it. So, which was, I think, the year that 13-2 came out. So, this was what I would do. I had like 2 more trophies left to go. So, what I would do is, I would play, of course, or whatever, go to work. Mm-hmm. On my break, I would go back home, play, and grind to get what I needed. Because you had to grind, like, different pieces to upgrade weapons, and go back to work, come home. Dude, I fucking logged in total, and I've said this before in the episode, between 13-1 and 13-2, I logged in 700 hours and I ended up getting platinum trophies on both games. On both Final Fantasies. So I think on the first game it was 400 hours and on 13-2 was 300 hours. 13-3 I ended up pre-ordering, getting all the special stuff with it. I actually pre-ordered it through Square Enix and I never ended up, even with the walkthrough, that game was so fucking weird that I never got the platinum trophy for 3. I was like, you know what, fuck it. Because that game was like, it was set on a timer. Mm. So like if you didn't clear it in the timer, the game would reset. Which was really, because it had to do with the end of the world. I mean, I beat the game, just not the way it was supposed to be beat. Because you had to be, like, you had to map out how you were going to beat the game. Like, literally. Like, it was, you couldn't just do it as you went on. And then if you used the guide, which came with the special edition that I bought, you had to be jumping through different chapters because you had to get info from another chapter to go with what the thing was. But anyways, so Final Fantasy 13 for PS3, that's my number 5. Honorable mentions for Final Fantasy is going to be which is the first Final Fantasy game I ever played, 8 for PS1. Me and my brothers played that game. That game was on 4 discs. 4 fucking discs. I ended up getting 2 copies of that game. One because one of the discs was messed up, and then me and my brothers ended up getting it again. So me and my brothers beat it on different times, and there was different ways to beat the game too, because I think there was 2 different endings for the game, if I'm correct. And then there was a mini card game in it. Another one is going to be Crisis Core for PSP. Which is a spin-off. It's a spin-off and it's an addition to the story for Final Fantasy VII. On top of that, Dirge of Cerberus for PS2. I had that game. I don't have it anymore. It's worth quite a bit now. I had it. The thing that sucked about that game is that, of course, it was an extension of the Final Fantasy VII story as well. But at the very fucking end, post-game, where you can go in and play all the extra games on top of it, because you got to play as what's his name? The guy in red. I don't know why I forget his fucking name. You don't know too much about Final Fantasy, right? Vincent Valentine. You're playing as Vincent Valentine in this story, because Crisis Core has to do with Zack and how Cloud gets the Buster Sword from him, and then it explains where Zack got the Buster Sword, because the Buster Sword wasn't originally Cloud's. Okay. Cloud got it from Zack, and Zack got it from his mentor. So that game is fucking... Dude, that game is a tearjerker too. So I never beat it only because my brother had it and I was like, I'm so close to fucking beating it. And it was one of those games where I just didn't finish it, which sucks. Then going back to Dirge of Cerberus, I had cleared the game. At the boss battle, there's this badass like Japanese metal song that's playing. And like it's all fucking hectic and you're like fucking going with your gun, blah, blah, blah. So I beat the game, credits go. I'm like, bam, I'm ready for the post game. Dude, there must have been some kind of like microscopic fucking scratch on this disc, because it froze after that, and I could never find another copy of the game. So I think I still have the scratched version, but I can't go past where I was on. And then one more to throw out there. Actually, I think those were the two that I wanted to do honorable mentions on. And it was Final Fantasy VIII, Crisis Core, and Dirge of Cerberus. Because the other Final Fantasies were fucking awesome too, but Final Fantasy 13 was the one that got me into it. You know, the whole thing with the chocobos. Well, even 8 got me into chocobos, but I just fucking love Final Fantasy. So Final Fantasy 13 is going to be my number 5 for PS3.
So how weird that our number 5s have to do with RPGs and...
What you got at number 5?
Okay, so let me tell you a story before I go to number 5.
Go for it.
For my days of renting SNES games, I would rent them, I would play them, and then very rarely did I finish any of these games.
Okay.
But there was one game that it comes to my mind because I would rent it, I would finish it, and then when I wanted to play it again, I would rent it again. When I would finish it, there was a totally different ending. So to me, that was really amazing.
What game is that?
This game is called Chrono Trigger.
Oh, I've played some of it and I've heard good things about that.
That game is amazing. Now, another thing, the SNES version, of course, I had it because my mom got it for me, and then I still have my second. I call it my second original SNES because the first one I got stolen from when they broke into my house, and they stole that, my Street Fighter game, and my Super Mario, my original Super Mario World game. I was only 4 or 5.
Yeah.
But now that Chrono Trigger game for the SNES could be worth up to $500. Needless to say, I don't have it. There's supposedly, I mean not supposedly, but there's over 17 endings on that game, and there's all sorts of twists in that game. I have the DS version though, because they came up with the DS version. I have not played it, but I have it. And that game, just because of the nostalgia, the characters by Akira Toriyama, which is the Dragon Ball Z creator, Dragon Ball Z, Dr. Slump, the artwork by them, such memorable characters. That game holds a special place in my heart, and it's so sad that I don't know if I'm ever gonna get my hands on an SNES cartridge because they go for so fucking much.
Yeah.
But with 17 different endings, with a badass story, a fucking immersive story, that is my number 5.
How many different endings did you see?
2.
Ooh.
2. I only beat it twice.
That's what's tough about those games with multiple endings. Like it's
but I mean, I didn't realize that there was over 7 or maybe 17 or over 17 endings until I was an adult.
Yeah.
But it was magical for me to rent the game, and then I was like,
and then being surprised
that there was a different ending. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, because back in the day, of course, we didn't have fucking smartphones. You know, internet wasn't like fucking spoiling everything. So yeah, that's
so just because of that. If you imagine a kid's face, sometimes I remember the first time I had a cousin who was really a gamer like myself. He's not much of a gamer at this time, but I was telling him about the games. The characters look like the Dragon Ball characters, and we're like, okay, so what's going on? And it's like, oh, this is going on, and this is gonna end like this, and like, well, show me. So I showed him. It's like it ended nothing like how you said it was.
Yeah.
So I was like, shit, man, this is magical.
Yeah.
So for those reasons, Chrono Trigger, and I know Chrono Trigger is one of the best RPGs ever made, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be in everybody's list.
Yeah.
But to me, it's number 5 because of those. I love that game.
That sounds pretty good to me, man. What number are we on?
You're number 4. Scared.
Number 4. Oh my god, I fucking love this game so much, dude. And then when the second game came out and disappointed the fuck out of me, I was so pissed. My number 4 is Marvel Ultimate Alliance for PS2. Now, a lot of people know, fucking if you don't know, I fucking love Marvel stuff. And Marvel Ultimate Alliance, I had played Marvel games before this. But Marvel Ultimate Alliance, there's a lot of Marvel fans you'll talk to, even about Marvel games. This is one of the best fucking Marvel games to play. One, and me and you talk about this too sometimes, the voice actors were fucking amazing on this game. And the reason why I was talking about this earlier was because when 2 came out, they changed a lot of the voice actors, which fucking sucked. The other thing you had, the cinematics and the graphics for PS2, that's when they were really pushing the system, because this was right at the end of the system's life. This was one of the last games that came out for the PS2. They were fucking awesome. The cinematics were awesome. There were so many fucking unlockables. It was a top view RPG. You got to pick your team of I don't know how many Marvel characters there were on the roster, but there was fucking a lot. I mean, you had the Fantastic Four, you had some X-Men, you had fucking Ghost Rider. Then the way you acquired the characters, you got them in different ways. Some of them you had to spend points. Some of them were hidden in the levels that you had to find. Then on top of that, what was fucking awesome about the game is not only how it looked, how it sounded, the music, the story was about fighting Galactus, but you would fight in different locations that it didn't get old quick. So like you could form. What was cool is you could form a team of 4 all the time, but you could unlock things based on the team that you formed. So let's say you weren't a Marvel fan and you didn't know that there was different versions of like the X-Men or different versions of the Fantastic Four. So like let's say I got a team of Mr. Fantastic, Spider-Man, the Thing, and Wolverine. Mm-hmm. It would like say like, oh, you unlocked a new team, the new Fantastic Four, and then you would unlock something because of the team that you picked of 4s. On top of that, they all had different costumes with different powers, which made it even more amazing because some teams you had to unlock using only certain costumes. So I don't know if you ever played the game or how far you went into it, but the game was fucking amazing because some characters had more costumes than others. So it wasn't like, oh, everybody gets 4. No, Spider-Man had a different amount of costumes. The Thing had different costumes, and what was cool was that one of my favorite ones, I think it was Blade. I wasn't sure if it was Blade or Ghost Rider, but you're fighting Arcade, right? I don't know if you know who Arcade is, but he's an X-Men villain. Yeah. And you're like in this place, and what's crazy is that you're fighting these villains in his world, and there's a claw machine, and if you interact with it, you get to play the claw machine. And that's where you unlock one of the characters, and Blade's in there. And it's a Blade doll, and he's there, and you drop him, and he comes out, and Blade's there. And in that same fucking world, there's a part where Arcade's trying to like trap you, and you have to go through an arcade cabinet. So you're like, oh, why is there an arcade cabinet in this room? So you fucking click on the fucking arcade cabinet, and it turns into an 8-bit Pitfall game. Oh. And you have to swing, and like it's all 8-bit, and the music turns 8-bit, and you have to make it through that fucking level. And dude, I fucking love this game, and a lot of people love this game. And I remember I went to Best Buy when it came out, and I would always go to Best Buy for my releases, and it actually came with a mini comic book, an Ultimate Alliance comic book, like that big. What's crazy is that I don't own the game anymore, but I still have the comic book. Oh wow, dude! And I still have my memory card with all my fucking data on there, dude. I don't know how many times I replay that game, and what's cool is that it was a couch co-op too, and so and it wasn't split screen, so like me and my brothers could play. They can jump in and out on their profiles, and it was cool because the screen was top view, and it was a beat 'em up too, and the game was awesome. And then what sucked was that when Ultimate Alliance 2 came out, it was based on the Civil War storyline. Everyone was disappointed by the game. I was so fucking hyped when it came out. The graphics looked shitty, the character designs looked shitty, the voice actors were fucking different and were shitty. Just the story about it being Civil War was shitty because it had to do with Nick Fury, and the teams, you couldn't form the teams the way you wanted. So there was one cast of characters was on one side on one team that you played on one story, and then the other cast you confuse them. Ultimate Alliance, everybody was going to fight Galactus. There was unlockable artwork because a lot of games nowadays don't have that. Yeah, there was unlockable everything. You had costumes, you had and then on top of that, what made it cool was on every, I think there was 4 or 5 different core levels, and on every level there was basically it started off in Avengers Tower or whatever, kind of like the Avengers Tower we saw on Marvel's Capcom Infinite. Looked just like that. So there was these little computer modules, and you would go to them and you would get points by answering trivia. So dude, it was Marvel trivia, on the comic books, on the fucking on the TV shows, and if you didn't know the answers, you didn't know the answers, but you could always replay it if you went back to the level. Dude, there was just so many fucking Easter eggs in this fucking game. It was just fucking amazing, dude. And then on top of that, speaking of endings, it had 2 different endings. Oh shit. So and it was all about fighting Galactus, and I just Marvel Ultimate Alliance, dude, I fucking love that game. It's one of the best Marvel games that I think it ever made. Dude. Period. Yeah, period. The story, the fucking the design, the even I think even the cinematics will still hold up today. And the voice actors, of course, like me and you talked about, Wolverine, Spider-Man, Captain America, all these guys were fucking voiced. It was a fucking awesome voice cast, dude. So many fucking, if you go through the fucking game, just everybody who was part of that game did a fucking amazing job, dude. So my number 4 is Marvel Ultimate Alliance for PS2.
All right, then let me
Sorry
share.
for boring you, but that was awesome.
No,
fucking awesome.
No, it's just I don't know what I did, but my number 4, man. Okay. My number 4. Don't look at my list.
No, I'm not. I can't see it. I can't see it.
So there was actually a lot of debate on my number 4, but I came up with Kid Icarus Uprising
Oh,
for the 3DS.
You let me borrow that, and I started it, but I didn't go. I didn't do
that
anything.
game is super amazing. It has a good story. It's got, I mean, it's a sequel, of course, to the Kid Icarus game for the not the SNES, the NES. But it's just goofy. It's funny. The graphics are cool. Like as you're playing the level, you get to Palutena is talking to you, and then Kid is talking. So the voice acting is really good. It's really great. The levels are amazing. How you start with the limited flight ability that he gets, when you get the 3 treasures, when you go in and defeat Medusa, which was the actual villain for the game, and then the twist that the story takes. That is an amazing game, and I know I played it like 5 times already, and it's just so magical. So that game, it's like it knows it's a video game, and when they did it, I don't know how inspired they were, but that game.
I wish I would have gone through it. I had your game, and I didn't have time to play it.
That game, man, is magical. That game is really magical. Like, if you play it, you're gonna like it. And the cool thing about it is that you can actually scale the difficulty level. So you can scale it to 1, which is like super easy, or you could just throw it out and do like 10, I believe. The multiplayer was also really good. I mean, although it wasn't that, I don't know, I played it a little bit, but the story mode, that's where it was at. Dark Pit, of course, that's where they introduced Dark Pit. He's a really awesome character too. What can I say, man? Like I said, I don't want to reveal too much because there's a twist out there that's really cool. But man, if anybody has a chance of playing that game,
I had the chance, but I didn't have a chance
because he sucks.
I didn't have it, dude. I didn't have time because I did finish Zelda though.
Oh yeah, you did.
I beat Zelda, but I just didn't.
Yeah, you need to give that game a chance, man. Kid Icarus is gonna.
Well, no, it's not that I didn't give it a chance. It's I didn't have time because Zelda, I had to make I had to fucking make time for Zelda, and because those were the 2 games that you had me play. It was Zelda and
Kid Icarus, yeah.
And Zelda, I ended up finishing. Kid Icarus, I didn't get a chance to.
Well, now you need to finish Kid Icarus.
Ready for 3?
Let's go.
3, I'm not going to talk about too much because everybody knows about it. I just want to name it. It had to go on my list. I love RPGs. I love customization. I mean, I love shit like that. Where you get to create your own character, like in MMORPGs too. My number 3 is Skyrim. PS3. I fucking love Skyrim. Skyrim was one. Also, I think what was crazy is that my sister got me Skyrim as a Christmas gift the same time that she got me the Final Fantasy 13. But what was crazy was that she got me the Legendary Edition, which came with all the DLC. And I was like, I heard about this game, but I didn't, because this is when Skyrim had just came out with this edition. So Skyrim had been out for a little while. I don't know. I think
what is that? Elder Scrolls?
Elder Scrolls.
Okay.
I forgot what parts.
Yeah, because Skyrim goes way back to...
Yeah. So Skyrim, I just fucking love this game. One, customization. I remember when the game fucking first starts, because you could switch to first person or third person. And I remember starting the game and you're like a prisoner in the fucking cage in a fucking wagon. And then the fucking dragon just fucking comes out of nowhere in the camera, because it starts off like first person, if I'm correct. And then you can switch through, but... just creating the character, creating your, the class that you, or the type of character you want. That game I fucking love so much because 1, it was open world. 2, you could literally get lost in that fucking game. Like, you can fucking go up a mountain. You could fucking, like find caves, like, that you didn't even know were fucking there. And then every time you went into a cave, it was always something different. It was never the fucking same. I don't know what I mean. I can't say a lot about Skyrim. I mean, I don't have to. Everyone knows about fucking Skyrim.
Speaks for itself.
Yes, it speaks for itself. Everybody knows. I mean, even there was an edition that just came out for, I think, for PS4 too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because that's how far. I mean, look at it. You got it on PS2, PS3, and PS4.
And soon you will have it on Switch.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And when I saw that, I was like, holy shit! Like, Skyrim is just fucking amazing. Like I said, I really don't have to say too much about it, but that's my number 3. I fucking love that game. Right. I never got a platinum on it, but I also, too, for those of you who know what I'm talking about, I was heartbroken that I couldn't marry Serana, the vampire. She was like one of the only female characters you could.
Your only waifu.
And when you Googled it, dude, so many people tried to find a way to marry her, and there was no way in the fucking game to marry her, which was heartbreaking, dude, because I fucking loved her, dude. I really did.
It's like taking an arrow to the knee.
Dude, it was taking an arrow to the fucking heart, dude.
You didn't get that arrow to the knee reference?
No.
So there's in that game, everybody was using it online. It's just this guy's like, because the game is structured such that if you get like an arrow, the arrow will stay in your body. So there was this guy. There's an NPC that you talk to, and he's like, I used to be a traveler or a hero like you, but then I got an arrow to the knee, and then you see your character with arrows in the head and arrows on the arm. Yeah. So they started using arrow to the knee as to say, okay, yeah, I used to be a great video game player, but then I got an arrow to the knee.
I never saw. You know, it could have been possible. I never came across the NPC because the world was so fucking huge. Yeah. And then also too, if somebody died, they wouldn't come back. Blah blah. Everybody knows Skyrim, but Skyrim my number 3.
Well, here's another game that I don't have to talk too much about. Also, the game just speaks by itself. The Last of Us. I know my other picks have almost been
I still haven't played it, man.
On a Nintendo console, but this one's on PS3, PS4. I actually played the PS4 version with the DLC.
Yeah.
That game, for me, it's the best of its genre. The best. It even surpasses the likes of Resident Evil. Surpasses the likes of Evil Within.
Oh yeah.
That game, Evil Within, is good. No matter what you think.
I don't think it's as strong as people think. I think it's a little.
It's just trippy. It's just trippy. But The Last of Us, man, that game is like it has everything. It has your zombie trope. It has.
Don't spoil it for me either, because I still haven't played it yet.
Okay, I won't spoil it. Yeah. But it's got everything that you're looking for in a video game, and I know a lot of people would say that's their number 1 pick, but I still got 2 more picks that represent more than anything in my gaming life.
Actually, same with me too.
But The Last of Us. It's gotta be there, man. That Last of Us game is amazing, and I do recommend it to anybody that wants to play it.
I'm kind of glad I didn't play it, because it kind of made if it would have sucked if it would have been on both of our lists.
Yeah.
Because I was having a hard time really making this list.
All right. So what's your number 2?
Number 2.
Number 2.
I don't even know where my number 2 is. Oh my god, another one of my favorite fucking games. Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Oh, shoot.
For PS1. So this game, I fucking love Castlevania games. And the first, me and you have talked about this before, one of the first Castlevania games I ever played was Castlevania Bloodlines for Sega Genesis.
Which I have.
Yeah. Oh, you have it too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have it too. So, that game, fucking awesome levels, awesome fucking music. The music on that shit was so fucking awesome to me that me and my brother downloaded some of the video game music and put it on our cell phones. Because the game was fucking amazing. If you haven't played it, it's fucking sweet. So, me and him both have the copy for Genesis. But Castlevania Symphony of the Night, I forgot how I came across playing it. But, what was weird is that there were so many... One thing is that when you beat it on 100%, it would go to 200%, because once you cleared the castle, Dracula's castle, there was an upside down version of the map. So the map would spread, and basically you had to play the game again, but it was a little different. And there were so many unlockables in that fucking game, and then there was also familiars in there too, where like, you know, they would follow you and help you out, which was a little ghost, and there was a fairy too. There were so many fucking swords, and what I loved about that game was that there were so many hidden things in that game. Like I was saying, weapons and food. Like, I always thought it was funny when it came to food, because we all know, like in Castlevania and the older ones, you would get the meat to heal yourself. When here, dude, to me it felt like there was an infinite amount of fucking food that was hidden in the game, because it got to the point where I actually got a cheat. I had a Game Shark disc for PS1, and I wanted to see what else was in the game, because I'd already beat it. And so I put in the Game Shark disc, and what it let me do was, I forgot what it let me do, but it let me have one of everything in my inventory that was in the game. And I ended up finding it later when my brother got a copy of it for his PSP, which also was attached with Rondo of Blood. Rondo of Blood came bundled with it, which was, I think, a rehash of one of the older Castlevania games. I'm not sure which one it was. My brother, if he was here, he would have been able to tell you. But basically, dude, so let's say you had meat, right? You would have meat, then you would have like eggs, and then like it would go, dude, the list went infinite. It went to like pizza, hamburger, then it went to like like all this like different kinds of Japanese food, cupcakes, like cake, pie, like, dude, like, you were like, holy shit, like, dude, the food list just went on, like, different kind of soups. And then like the same thing with swords too. Like, you had different swords that did different things, and like there was like rapiers and broadswords, and like just the list of swords and shields just went on, dude. And they were all hidden in the game, and it was just fucking an amazing game, dude. Like, you got to play as Alucard, which was Dracula's son, and the cinematics weren't that great, but when you played the game, like, because there weren't too many cutscenes or cinematics, but when you played the game, the characters' designs were awesome. Then you had like a encyclopedia of the enemies that you came across, and the designs, like I said, were anyone who's played Castlevania Symphony of the Night knows what I'm talking about. And this is what sucks is when I played the game, this was back when I was in high school. I think PS2 had just came out. I had found a copy of Symphony of the Night on eBay. It was a greatest hits version, and when I ended up buying it, and what I didn't know was that it was a wrapped version. It was an unopened version. So what I didn't know at the time, this one ended up being worth quite a bit too. Because if you got the original one, that one's worth a fuckload of money. And so the second one, I think the greatest hits is two as well. But I ended up loaning it to somebody, and I never got it back. So I don't own Symphony of the Night anymore. Another game, sticking with that for my honorable mentions, another fucking awesome Castlevania game is Curse of Darkness. That's the one I was trying to think of last time. Curse of Darkness, PS2 game. Again, I owned it. That game, dude, if you find it, is worth a lot too. I fucking don't own it anymore. Like Castlevania games, like certain ones, if you have, they're worth quite a bit.
Bloodlines is worth quite a bit of money.
Really? How much is Bloodlines
like
worth?
$50-$40.
I used to have the box, dude. I had bought it when we first bought it. We bought it new, yeah. But I just have the cartridge. Curse of Darkness is another one that was awesome too because I think it was third person. If I'm correct, it was third person, and it kind of played like Mega Man X Command Mission, where like you could move, turn corners, blah blah blah. And what's crazy was you had familiars too, but you could evolve your familiars. Mm-hmm. So there was and you could customize them too. So like there was like a little pumpkin guy, he would follow you. Like he was cute. Have you ever seen the movie Trick or Treat?
Yeah.
Okay, so he kind of looked like that. So he was like a little pumpkin guy, and then like you had little golems, and like the more of their kind that you collected, they can grow. And they would walk along with you, and they each had different powers. And then there was like a raid tower mode, so like you could just go in on a fucking raid mode, dude. That's got to be like my second that I was fighting with on what to put on. But Curse of Darkness was fucking awesome. And then also too, like sticking with those guys. What was the other ones? Lords of Shadow for PS3. Lords of Shadow 2 was kind of a disappointment. Mm-hmm. Lords of Shadow 3 was a reboot of the series. It was fucking sweet. You had Professor X was in the game.
Professor X?
What's his name? Yeah. Patrick Stewart. Patrick Stewart was one of the voice actors in the game. That fucking game was fucking sick as well too. The design, the cutscenes, the cinematics, everything was awesome. But yeah, my number 2 is Castlevania Symphony of the Night. It was, it's a fucking amazing game. I wish I still owned it. I would be rich if I owned it. To some extent.
Rich.
No, well, not rich, but you know what I mean. I would have my collection worth some more. If I had it with me.
Okay, well, ready for my number 2?
What's your number 2?
My number 2 is Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo.
I had that on here.
You have an honorable mention, but me, that game I've played so much. It's been released on almost every Nintendo console except maybe the 64 and the GameCube. Mm-hmm. But I played that game so much that there's a level that I can beat with my eyes closed.
I'm sure. That's how I was with
there's a level that I just know it so well that I can even with my eyes closed I can just time it and then beat it. I got it when I was a little kid. I have a lot of memories with it because that's one of the games that I would play with my my aunt, and we would play together, and we would try to finish the game, and then there's the secret infamous soda lake, which is it's easy to get, but the world, the overworld is basically, remember how I was saying on but you know how it is. You have to go through the levels, and then you click A, and then you start that stage. With this one, if it was a yellow one, it means that it only had one exit, and if it's a red one, it means it has 2. Mm-hmm. That game doesn't have 100%. It has its 100% is 98. So it means that you have to clear all the levels that have 2 exits. You have to exit through both of them, and then if you clear with one exit, you go to one side, and if you clear the other exit, it throws you on the other side. Now, usually the ones that had red exits had a little key. So, like I said, back then there was no internet. So there is a level that doesn't have a key, but it has a second exit, and that second exit is also like one of those up and down.
Yeah.
And that takes you to Soda Lake, and that. To be honest, I didn't play Soda Lake till I was 23. That game had still, and then the special after you beat the game, you go into the Star Road, and then you clear the special stages. It makes like the Koopas have different heads and stuff like that, and then there's like a glitch that turns the overworld red, and then you have another glitch, and you have a bunch of
there's a
stuff.
lot of things in
That game for me is well, not needless to say, that's the first video game I've ever played in my life. So that holds a really special, a place in my heart. But my number one pick, man, is the one that is by far my best video game I've ever played in my life.
Yeah, and back to Super Mario World. That one was a fight for me too, because like I said, Super Mario Land 2 beat it out. And one thing that was weird about Super Mario World was that when I was a kid, I have memories of it, but they're not really good. When I was a kid, I used to be in the hospital a lot because of my asthma. I was I would miss like weeks of school because I was stuck in the hospital. And I was stuck in the hospital so much that the doctors there knew me. And so in the kids' floor, they would have a SNES attached to a TV, and they would like bring it in the kids' rooms. And like me, since my name was Mario, like they would come in sometimes after like, the kids thing would close, and they would bring me the system. And some of the doctors would play Super Mario World with me. And that, I don't know, I mean, I never beat the game, and I think that's one reason why I never owned it until I got older, was because I had so many memories of being in the hospital and having fucking needles in my hand and shit. But I mean, that's the only reason that Super Mario Land 2 beat out Super Mario World. If not, me and you both would have had it on our list. But that's a fucking awesome game. I mean, the music, just the things that were hidden in that game too. I mean, everybody's gonna have memories of Super Mario World, and that game, without a doubt, is gonna be on everyone's list.
Almost everybody,
So you ready for number one?
What's your number one?
Number one, I had to do this because this one got me. This game kind of enhanced the addiction I had already had when I started playing the first one, but I'm gonna go with Pokemon Yellow.
Pokemon Yellow.
So Pokemon Yellow, the first game Pokemon Yellow was not the first game I played. The first game I played was Pokemon Blue. I actually had Blue. A friend of mine, he had Red and Blue, and he didn't want Blue. So keep in mind, we were like 3rd graders, 4th graders. He gave me Blue.
Oh wow.
He just gave it to me, and so he gave it to me in the box or whatever. I don't have Blue anymore, and I don't have Yellow anymore. But I remember Yellow being so. First off, I remember Pokemon being so fucking awesome. I love Pokemon. I had Pokemon cards. I would watch the Pokemon show the anime before I went to school. Every day. Pokemon Yellow, I remember I fucking fell in love with it. My parents bought it for me when it came out. Well, I was like, oh, just like the show, Pikachu's with you. Like, I fucking loved Pokemon Yellow. Like, Yellow was the fucking shit for me. And then I loved the fucking intro, and I just remember going to school. I remember I had a friend who he would walk with me because his house was on the way to school where I would go. So we would walk together, and we would try to see who would remember the Poke Rap of that episode from that morning, because we would watch the show when we were getting ready for school when we were kids. And fucking Yellow, I just remember fucking. I remember Nidoking being like my main. Like, I fucking love Nidoking, and then I had Pikachu on there, and then I remember Pikachu could fly and surf, and I fucking loved. And then that just fucking. I mean, Pokemon stuck with me. Like, even now, like I'm fucking like so still in love with X and with fucking Sun and Moon. I didn't think I was gonna be as attached to it as I am now, and then. Gold and Silver. I remember playing Gold when I was a kid, and now Gold and Silver are going to be re-released, I guess. Pokemon. And then honorable mentions too: Pokemon X, Pokemon Sun. Pokemon Moon. And then this game was fucking. I loved this game too, and I don't own it anymore. But I don't know if you remember it or if you own it. But Pokemon Pinball. Pokemon Pinball for game. Dude.
I don't own it. I know which one.
Okay. I was gonna say. So Pokemon Pinball, for those of you who don't know, it was on Game Boy. I had it for my Game Boy Pocket, and it had this little lip on it, so that you could put a AAA battery in it, and basically it had a built-in rumble pack. And I fucking loved it. And basically you would play tables and catch Pokemon, and I fucking loved that game. But Pokemon Yellow was the one that started it all. Red is the one that started it all, but Yellow was the one that. Like, holy shit, like, what is this thing? Like, why is it so addictive? Yeah, and it got even better when Yellow came out, and then, of course, for those of you guys who are interested, me and Lewis have the new Game Informer, but there's a history of Pokemon in there that goes through each of the gens and each of the games, and if you're interested in that, that's out there on the Game Informer magazine, but Pokemon Yellow is my number one. Like, it's Pokemon I had to put a Pokemon game on there.
I know.
But yeah, Pokemon.
All right, so before I go to my number one pick, this is how I do it. I'm gonna give all my honorable mentions right now.
Oh wow. Okay.
and needless to say, it's a bunch.
Okay.
Okay. So, Dark Alliance for PS2 and GameCube. Dark Alliance, if you ever played it, it's an amazing game. For Microsoft. I played it on PC, but it's also for the Xbox. Left 4 Dead 1 and 2.
Okay.
That's one of the best co-op games I've ever played.
Okay.
The Mummy for PlayStation 1.
Yeah, that's ours. That's I agree.
One. It's called One for PlayStation.
Sounds familiar.
That's a badass game too. Conker's Bad Fur Day for the 64.
Okay.
That's a game I couldn't just not, the Legend of the Seven Star Super Mario RPG. Okay. That's, oh my god, that's an amazing super game. Yoshi's Island, that's also a great game. My god, there's a bunch. But let me go with my top one first, and then The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. That is my number one game of all time.
I knew you'd have a Zelda game on there. I just didn't know which one.
Now, this is the reason why. I actually have a top 10 of Legend of Zelda games.
Of course you do.
Of course I do. But okay, so it was between this and Skyward Sword, because Skyward Sword for me was the best game story-wise that they released for The Legend of Zelda. But I didn't put Breath of the Wild, which is by itself an amazing game, because we still have DLC coming for it. So as amazing as it is, it's not it's a finished game, but it's not an entirely finished game product. So that's why it didn't figure on my list. If not, it would have been horrible to pick that Legend of Zelda game out of. Now, Majora's Mask, just like you, it's attached to a part of my life where my brother was in the hospital a bunch of the time. So I had to live with my aunt, and I used to live with my cousin for a couple months, and he's also a really avid Zelda fan, and we would play hours to hours after school. And I remember his dad would log into the internet. At the time, it was a dial-up connection, and he would try to just give us tips on how to,
doing that.
Yeah, how to beat the game.
Yeah.
The game actually has, now that when I was growing up and I would go into the game. The game has so much story. It's so dark. You only have 3 days to save the world. Of course, you can play the ocarina and go back in time, but you only have 3 days. You can't save everybody. Like, there's a lot of stuff that if you do, you can't do for the other person. Like, there's a massive side quest. It's called the cafe. Basically, it's a guy that's about to get married, and Skull Kid, which is the guy. It's a school kid that comes out in the Ocarina of Time. He gets possessed by the mask. So you have to, he turns him into a kid. And then you have to basically reunite him with the fiance, but they're gonna get married. But the thing is, the moon is about to fall, and they get together basically 5 minutes before the moon.
Oh shit!
So it's like, why even bother? But they're like, no, we're just gonna wait for the moon to fall here together. So basically, we're gonna die together.
I gotta play that.
Yeah. So and then. There's if you analyze the game closely, it's based off of the 5 stages of the rejection. No, not rejection. 5 stages of mourning or something like that.
Yeah.
Where
it's like regret.
So like basically, there's some people are in denial. Like the town is in denial, and then the Deku people are in regret. And then the Sora people are the Gorons are in depression because their hero died. And then the Soras are in disbelief or something like that. And there's only 4 dungeons. Legend of Zelda games are known to have like 6 or 7 dungeons. This one only has 4. But it's got so much story, so much to do, that it's amazing. The transformations are amazing. The masks are amazing. At the end, you get to fight Majora's Mask. But if you collected everything, you get to unlock the Fierce Deity Mask, which is basically a mask that turns you into basically a deity. And you beat Majora's, and you get down on the 4th day, and then just that game alone is so cool. It's so short, but it's so cool that for me, there hasn't been any Legend of Zelda yet like I said, aside from Skyward Sword, which came really close, and Breath of the Wild, which is basically coming really close, that has surpassed the level of greatness that Majora's Mask has. It's packed with, emotion. It's packed with, stuff to do. The quest, the side quest, everything. It's just a memorable game. The what?
Oh no, I was gonna say the good thing is I have Zelda out of my way, so I can.
Yeah. So it's so memorable that for me it just had to take the number 1 spot.
That's yeah, dude. I've heard a lot of people talking about that game. Talk about that game. There's so many Zelda.
Well, there's actually a remake for 3DS.
Oh shit. Yeah, I'm stuck to my 3DS.
So if you ever want to play it, you can actually play both Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Those are one of the only games. Well, there's a couple games in the series when they release them, they don't release them in chronological order. They can be here or here.
Yeah.
But Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, and Ocarina of Time are sequels. Like Majora's Mask is a direct sequel to Ocarina of Time.
What's weird is how you were talking about the story on that one. That's kind of how it is, and kind of why I never beat it either. When I was talking about Final Fantasy 13, Final Fantasy 13 3, it's called Lightning Returns, and it has to do with the end of the world too, but you have 13 days. So basically that's your time limit, 13 days. And the same thing, there's people that are fighting, that used to be friends, and they're fighting you for different reasons too, and some of them are in denial, some of them blah blah blah, and it's all because one friend got lost, which was Lightning, the sister, and her fiance is heartbroken and blah. Like it's a pretty crazy game. So like if you go through the trilogy right at the end, it's kind of like that. And at the end, all the friends die together.
Oh shit.
Well, kind of, and then a new universe gets rebuilt.
So you don't get to save the world on that one?
You do, but it's weird because I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, but the universe ends, but their friendship forms a new universe.
Oh.
Where like I don't know, it's just dude, it's Final Fantasy, so that's self-explained right there. But did you want to say anything else about Zelda?
No, but anybody that considers themselves a self-defendant has not played Majora's Mask has to play it hands down.
I don't think there's any out there because a lot of people that I see that are huge Zelda fans have the Majora's Mask tattoo where they have some kind of fucking...
Yeah, that's an amazing game.
I just want to run through my honorable mentions real quick. They weren't part of any of the franchises that I named. So just real quick, Tetris on Game Boy. Tetris, that's one of my fucking favorite games. I can play any version of Tetris. Me and you play that fucking game.
The Tricky Towers.
Tricky Towers. Then also too, on here, this one barely didn't make it on my list. And the reason why I was trying to add different games, and I love racing games. Need for Speed Underground 2. The fucking music on there. There was a lot of bands that and artists that I found out that I became a fan of and started listening to because of that game. Also to customize. Just I think to me, that was the last good Need for Speed game. Honestly, like I don't know if anyone else feels like that, but Need for Speed Underground 2 on PS2, that was the last really good Need for Speed game. Also too, Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Oh yeah,
Tony Hawk. I spent hours on that shit. I fucking love Tony Hawk. Now I don't want to mention that one. Transformers: Fall of Cybertron for PS3. I love Transformers. Transformers. There was two. They were back-to-back stories. It was which you had a lot of the original cast from the animated series on this game. So you had Peter Cullen, who voices Optimus Prime in the original movie, in the original series, the G1 series, and the movies too, Michael Bay's movies. It was War for Cybertron, which was part 1, and Fall of Cybertron. I think I wanted to play Fall of Cybertron so bad that I just ran through War for Cybertron on the story. Fall of Cybertron was awesome. The online modes were awesome. Me and my brother would play that. Then the last last 4 actually on here that I have as my honorable mentions. Donkey Kong Country.
Oh yeah.
Donkey Kong Country. I wanted to add that one so bad, and I just fucking there was other games that I had to put on there. Lollipop Chainsaw and Brutal Legend for PS2. Lollipop Chainsaw. If you don't know what Lollipop Chainsaw is, look it up. Brutal Legend was partly created by I think he was part creator on it. Jack Black. And it's just basically a world where metal.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that game.
Where like it's a world where metal musicians are their gods.
He's the voice actor for the character.
Yeah, well, he actually is the character.
Yeah, he's the character.
And there's a live action. The beginning is actually live action. I actually own the game.
Really?
Yeah. I found it, and it was one of the. I actually found Brutal Legend and Lollipop Chainsaw together.
Oh wow!
And they both ended up being like 2 of my favorite games. Brutal Legend. So basically, Jack Black is a roadie. He kind of dies, and he goes into this world where like metal legends rule. So the voice acting is crazy on there too, because you have Ozzy Osbourne who
Yeah.
does a voice acting in there. Lemmy from Motorhead does fucking voice acting in there. You have all these metal legends in there. And then the soundtrack to the game is real metal songs, and you have them organized by like death metal, black metal, speed metal, thrash metal, punk metal. It's just fucking. I love that game. Being a fucking metalhead, like how I grew up, Brutal Legend is a fucking awesome game. I was always hoping for a sequel, and that wasn't gonna happen. Partly due because they were gonna make a sequel, but there was something that happened with like licensing and stuff like that. But and then the last one on my list is Hatsune Miku Project Diva X.
Oh yeah,
for PS4.
That's your girlfriend right
that
there.
was like the next game. That was like my next step into rhythm-based games. But I fucking love that game too. Just the interaction with the characters too. They're kind of like. It kind of fuses like a thing, kind of like Gigapets and Tamagotchi, to where like you get to feed them and talk to them, and then like they like you get to build a relationship with them. And there's like I think 7 different characters in the game, so it's not just Hatsune Miku because she has friends too. But those were my honorable mentions. That was my list.
Dude, and there was just a lot of video games that I get like a lot like oh my god, freaking Fire Emblem we didn't get to mention, the Dragon Ball games we didn't get to mention.
Yeah, there was a lot of games I didn't touch either.
Donkey Kong Country we didn't get to, Banjo-Kazooie we didn't get to mention, Star Fox we didn't get to mention. I mean, my goodness, there's just a bunch. Dr. Mario, Mother.
Oh yeah, Dr. Mario.
My goodness, I mean, just look at my wall.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, you know, the original ones, Yoshi's, you know, Galaxy, you know, you name
Metroid
it.
too.
Metroid, Punch Out. I mean, there's just a bunch of games. But just for this list, I mean, I could just say a top 50 of all the games that I, you know, that but these are.
Dude, we spent 2 hours.
We could just go on forever if this would. But man, I just these games are the top 10 that I have in my heart.
Mine too. So I guess that's our episode. I don't know what next episode is gonna be. I think it's gonna be on Gamescom. It might be on some of the things that get talked about on Gamescom, because that's the next big thing that's happening. I think it starts on Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
So I think we'll talk about that, and then we'll wait a couple of weeks before we do Defenders. I think we'll probably wait like 2 or 3 weeks from now. But if you heard it, let us know what your 10 are, and then I'll talk a little bit about them just real quick and who listed them, whatever, on next episode. So that was our episode.
That was it, and well, thanks for listening, and
we'll see you guys next time.
We'll see you next time or next week on Combo Breaker Geek Podcast.
Later.
Boom.